Hey, we are back with Crow Inquisitors. This is episode 52, and we're back. I'm excited. So we apparently no one else is, but here we are.
Are we excited? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I just like said that, and then like there was a pause, and there
give
was
me a
like
few
nothing.
more drinks into this,
yeah,
There you go.
yeah. But yeah, we're back. It's just gonna be Connor. Oh, sorry, this is episode 53. That's what I was checking. I was looking up. It's episode 53. You and Terra Invicta are really close in episode numbers right now, so it's like very confusing remembering which episode is which. We had that with, it was really funny. We had that with Elysian Road and Terra Invicta for a little while too when we were finishing that one up. And so
nice.
It kept doing that, and then Terra Invicta did a bunch more episodes, and then it caught up with Crow Inquisitors, and then we started doing Crow Inquisitors again. It's been funny. Okay, so we're gonna do just Cantarius and Alfons today. Adam is out, so we figured we'd do the pairings again, like we did before. I'm not entirely sure if Alfons and Cantarius will be doing a whole lot together as much as they did last time this session.
Oh, okay. Where did we leave things off? Like, what should I be talking about for beliefs? I can't remember.
Yeah, so the notes that I have for you guys, right? Especially for you, Cantarius, I have plenty of notes.
Okay.
So the two things that for sure come to mind is your meeting with your uncle, right? You're the ambassador that you met with. You meet with him since we're kind of going back into Rising action after we had that kind of like small climax with Eurus and all that stuff. We're kind of building back up to, defeating Targoth and Faustus again. So we can do some more quiet scenes. So we could do that meeting with your uncle. We could do I was thinking we get some montaging of you working on the Colosseum that you're renovating into a palace. See Cantarius be taskmaster again for a little while. That could be fun.
And
then
why would I do that though?
Well, because Alphonse made a deal with the king for you and Antonius to do that.
Oh.
That was like part of his deal.
You were there for that.
You were there for this.
Was I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You were role playing my blind butler.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But then I figured we could have a moment because Antonius is going to be also working on that, right? As part of the guild situation. And he's like made circles tests to like get work crews and stuff to work on that. And I figured that you had that. The last where we left off with you was Cantarius was watching. You guys went to that meeting of the cult, and Adam joined the cult. Theo joined the cult, and you did like a vibe check on the area, and learned that he has one of the artifacts. That Faustus has one of the artifacts. Yeah.
Let me stop.
I was trying to think of the best way to describe it, and that's what came to mind.
Let me suss out what you just said. No.
Yes, I'm referring to Cantarius' uber powerful magic as a vibe check. Let's be real. That's kind of what Cantarius does.
Yeah. He's good at sussing stuff out and vibing.
Yeah. You also, Cantarius, noted that Antonius has that mirror that Antonius had from the first season was also somewhat magical. And I figured we could have a moment.
Who has the mirror? Antonius?
Antonius. Yeah.
Okay.
I figured we could have a moment where while you guys are working on the Colosseum and stuff, you can just talk over what happened and whatnot.
You can break the mirror and then.
Well, yeah, you can either talk about that. You can also talk about like, Antonius has probably been watching what's been happening with Theo from any ins on the cult that he has for like the last couple days or something, right? So you can just touch base with Antonius on the like what's happening in the cult sort of stuff. So there's a bunch of stuff that can happen there. And then in terms of. And then obviously you just wanted to like, figure more out about Targoth and Faustus and all the cult stuff. So we can make some sort of concrete step there. As for you, Alphons, I don't know what you have down. Obviously we have get the orb for Narani as your kind of like next main thing.
Yeah.
But then.
It's not for her, for me.
Right.
I won that duel of witches. The orb for me.
It's true. It's true. Okay, yes, there's no way Sergio doesn't know what I'm up to. I'll survive whatever he throws at me next. That's certainly a good one. I have a couple of ideas. Let's see. Let's take a look at my notes here. Like, I don't know if Sergio's gonna like send an assassin after you is the thing, because like
it all depends whether he's that far off the deep end.
I don't think he is, especially after he just did the whole thing with Dellen, right? Like he's trying to still play it safe here.
Gotcha.
And also like you're a master swordsman now, right? Like he knows what that money was going towards.
He might not send an assassin after me, but he might send like a group of like enforcers or something to like arrest me.
I don't know if he would.
Or what's his face? The dude that he trusts who's like super evil.
Yeah, that's the first thing that comes to my mind is like Constantino. Yeah, he might show up and just talk to you, right? Whether or not maybe he does have some sort of like ulterior motive from Sergio, but maybe he just like shows up and chats. Okay, I have some ideas, but yeah, that's a good belief, I think. And then what's your third one is? Okay, yeah, to convince Cantarius to help you. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, with your master plan here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. I have a bunch of notes,
and we can't trust Theo anymore from what I learned after last.
Yeah. Let's see. I have a bunch of notes about like ongoing thread. Let's talk real briefly, Alfons, about the threads that are kind of ongoing with you. So we have Damiana, right? We have that lady that you were using to get to Nico. Do you have any plans with? So Nico, you at the last session, right? In your session.
We basically that thread's complete for now until that reopens.
That's what I was just going to ask. Do you care about her anymore? Are you just going to drop her now?
I mean, I care about her.
How far are you going to drop her? Like off a ledge?
Off a cliff?
Yeah.
I mean, I care, like, she knows what this is.
Yeah, but like, okay, that sounds good. You think she knows what this is, and I'll go ahead and push on that. I think a little bit, maybe not in this session, but
yeah,
that's what we have going on there.
Is acquaintance / friend, I guess.
Yeah. We also have the Trues, that we've been keeping that on the back burner for a little while. I think my plan is to have Oberdon, the father that you convinced to help Dellen with whatever he's going to be doing next session. When we do Dellen and Theo. But Aza was trying to get in touch with you last time and she failed, right? And then just found out about Damiana stuff. So I might push on that. But if you don't have a belief about it, we don't have to do it this session. I just wanted to sort of keep that on your mind. The other thing is Giolina, right? You lied to her and eventually she will figure out that like things are going to be bad. But yeah, that seems like it's all in the back burner. It was definitely a lie. You rolled a falsehood. You rolled a falsehood.
He's rolling a falsehood right now too.
Yeah. But just so we keep that in mind, that's stuff happening in the background. But yeah, if you want to pursue other stuff, we can. It sounds like you have some clear goals here. So we can do that. Cool. All right, cool. Well, let's just like finalize your beliefs then, Cantarius, based on what we just talked about. So Targoth is next. Do you have like a next step just directly against the cult? Is it just like touching base with Antonius and getting him to do something while he's there, or? Because I assumed that your belief about Dellen isn't active anymore.
No, I shouldn't have that to be for here. Did I return the favor?
You like got a fate point on it or something, but it didn't really.
I don't think I actually completed that yet. Will you?
Yeah, I'll put it in active. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And then I don't think Alphonse and I will really interact much. So.
Well, Alphonse is going to ask you to help him with his master plan. He does have a belief about you, so.
Okay. Well, let me pull this one back out then.
I will determine what he's really up to.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I still think that you're pretending to change, and I figured out what you were up to last time. Now, same thing. I'm just trying to figure out what
did you figure out I was up to.
I figured out that you weren't up to anything at the time.
At the moment that he made the roll, yeah.
Gotcha.
So not, but I'm suspicious again.
Yeah, makes sense. Especially
it makes sense, especially with what I'm gonna. Yeah.
Yep. That'll be fun.
And then I don't know. I'm trying to figure
belief about
out.
Antonius might make sense.
Yeah, but I don't know what I believe about Antonius right now. Not sure what I really like. I'm not sure how impactful.
Yeah, that's fine.
Me knowing he has magical mirror necessarily is to me. I don't think it's really impactful for me to like try and accomplish something through that, I suppose.
How about for just Targoth is next? I mean, you can literally write it as simple as make some sort of concrete step, to like stop him. Find some
in terms of
out.
Like I could say it generically like that. You mean?
Yeah. You because like we all know what your like goal is here. It's just like get something on Targoth, right? Like make a concrete step towards that goal.
I'm literally just gonna write it out like that. Make a concrete step toward
defeating him.
Yeah, I think defeating him is probably the best way to phrase it.
And then belief 3 about your uncle?
Yeah, I could be help.
Yeah, so what's your goal there, right? Just to help him because he's your uncle?
And me being his taskmaster and helping with the building of the palace, that doesn't help my uncle in any way, does it? That's just
I don't believe so. Yeah, that's just helping. It was helping Alfons be able to get in with the king so he could do his political machinations.
Well, I just in terms of
which I guess it does help your uncle in a roundabout way, because like Alphonse's goal partially was to
step
get
one
the war
to getting close to the king, and then through the king getting close to Targoth.
Okay. I think what I want to do is just have a belief about like doing well with my taskmaster duties.
Sure.
And I'm not sure what I believe about my uncle totally yet. I mean, I like he like wants to reconnect with him, and I'm not sure if that's.
Well, how about we just do this? This might be a fun thing to do. How about we have the first part of the belief basically be like I will reconnect with my past, because part of that is this taskmaster thing, right? And then the other part is your uncle, right? You can kind of go through a couple different things there.
I'm gonna not say reconnect. I will.
Yeah, whatever you would. However you would phrase that.
Something though. What is it? What's the word there? Not reconnect. Like like come back to relook at.
Reevaluate.
Yeah. No, not even that. Reevaluate. Like come to take another look. Take. I don't know. I guess reconnect is fine. Not sure exactly. If that's
reopen,
right,
restore, resume, revitalize.
Revitalize. I'll reconnect with my past is fine. I'm not sure how to express what I to say. Reconnect with my past. My past and take another as to meta. Reconnect with my past. I will speak with my uncle again and perform well. That's 2 beliefs though. It's 2. What's a concrete goal that I could put there? Because there's a couple of things there, but like what am I doing? Like I can't.
You have
make
to choose
a roll
one of the
to
other,
reconnect
basically.
with my past. So I will perform my taskmaster duty as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I can roll for that. Like talking to my uncle. That's not really a roll.
Yeah, I imagine
I don't
that,
want it to be.
No, and that's fine. Yeah, talking to your uncle. The main thing I had in mind there is just like figuring out like what you two can help each other with, right? Like what does that relationship look like, and we can just set that up this time and then follow it up next time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do you have a concrete idea of his character, or are you just kind of looking at?
Oh no, okay. Yeah, I have his whole character very fleshed out.
All right, yeah, hit me with it. Not right now, I mean, but just like
yeah. Yep. There's a whole big thing there.
Teach me his ways.
I will. All right, cool. Yeah, so final beliefs are Targarth is next. Cantarius has Targarth is next. Make a concrete step toward defeating him. Alfons is at the very least pretending to try to change. I will determine what he's really up to. I will reconnect with my past. I will perform my taskmaster duties well. And then Alfons has... There's no way Sergio doesn't know what I'm up to. I will survive whatever he throws at me next. I need the orb to continue my plans. I'll get the orb from Theo. And I need help and can't ask Dylan, and Theo is no longer trustworthy. I have to convince Cantarius to help me. Sad face. All right. If you're saying something, you're muted. All right. I assume you're just talking to Mickey or something. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was talking to Mickey about something.
No, okay, just making sure. All right, cool. So let's jump into it. Who do you want to start with? Like, Alphonse just wrapped up his Nerani stuff, so it makes sense that we could like jump to Cantarius first. Do we want to do the like Taskmaster Coliseum stuff, and then have Alphonse show up to that and like ask Cantarius about his jam and you know, for aid and whatnot?
Sure.
Yeah, if Connor's up to that.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Mickey walks in.
I think I need the orb before I...
Was Mickey confused that Jared was labeled with Connor?
Yeah, she's like, where's Jared? Like, doesn't matter right now.
Yeah.
I think I'd get the orb before I'd go talk to Cantarius.
Okay, yeah. Well, how about we do this then? If you're fine with it, Connor, I think it makes sense to start with Cantarius since we just did a whole big session with Alphonse last time.
Yeah.
So let's start with the Taskmaster stuff and then jump over to Alphonse.
Yeah, wait a second. Why is Jared even here? This is my mini session.
Well, it was mainly because Jared...
His name is even Connor. I mean, we were both just, this is my session. Jared isn't even here.
Well, to be fair, Jared was doing a session because he wasn't at the last session before that, so...
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm so forgettable.
But yeah, so we open up on a shot of the Colosseum, right? And the Colosseum, as a reminder for you guys, has been... this is where Theo used to do gladiatorial stuff, right? But ever since Sergio took over, which has been a couple of years now, it's been kind of discontinued and like the gladiatorial games have ceased. Ceran has never really been... I don't know. It's never really made a whole lot of sense for Ceran to have gladiatorial games, given their religious beliefs and whatnot. It's kind of a holdover from their Garrick roots, right? So they kind of come from like a Greco-Roman culture to the north that they like had a pilgrimage out of. And so Sergio finally managed to, when he became Pope, like kind of discontinue those because of his radical kind of reformation of the religion and Lucerta and whatnot. And so it's been kind of sitting empty for a while. And that's one of the reasons that King Valerio, was able to convince Sergio to kind of give it to him as a new site for a palace, right? And it was kind of like a good trick on Valerio's part. It was a good like underhanded maneuver because Sergio, like, he specifically got rid of the games there and it's sitting empty, and Sergio's all about like not having big rich buildings like remain unused. He probably has like poor people who like stay in the Vatican and stuff, right? Like you know, because he's that, like, that's his jam, is to like he's trying to like reform the country and make sure that the poor are taken care of and stuff. That's been his goal from the beginning. And so this obviously, like, he was caught between a rock and a hard place. Sergio was here, because Valeria's like, there's no good reason not to give this to me because it's not even being used, and I need, like, my old palace got burned down, like, in the war. Like, you know, can you give me this? And so Cantarius and Antonius have been kind of overseeing a project to kind of renovate this place for as a palace. And remind me, do you remember, Jared, did we ever circles up an architect for this? I know Antonius,
do we want to
like,
just do a roll right now to see it, like a flashback roll to see if we did?
I know that we made some sort of roll for Antonius to get a workforce.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't remember if we. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Is the king helping?
I don't remember anyone making a circles roll to like actually get an architect or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Connor? Does that sound familiar or not?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound familiar, but I also,
yeah.
Yeah.
So circles with 3 help, I'd assume.
Yes.
You're probably Connor.
I was gonna say you're both probably good people to do this with because you both went to the same like university in Lucerta and like would know a student. Yeah, know a student who'd be an architect or whatever.
Where are we right now? Are we together?
This is our role in the past.
I think this is the role in the past. Yeah.
Okay.
When you set up this whole thing,
and you're asking if I'll help you with the circles roll?
Yeah.
I have
like an architect.
3 in circles.
I have a 4
I assume you have more.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 gray.
Yeah, because it's based on will.
When did you gray shade?
Oh,
that's so.
That's why my health is gray too, because I have a gray fort for some reason.
That's so irritating.
I know. I wish I put it in something other than fort. I had no idea what the system was when we. Yeah. Reputations, affiliations. I have a reputation of nobility.
This could be a noble architect, right? A nobleman who went to college and then from there became like some. That would be the sort of person you'd be looking for anyway. Someone who like maybe not a noble per se, but like someone who's at least in noble circles who would be building fancy buildings.
What's the ob?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. So let's see. This is a particular life path you're looking for.
Architect.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. 3.
Connor 9 sus. That's pretty good.
4. Yeah, I think it's going to be an ob 4.
Nice.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Go ahead. There you go.
If I get
how do you have that many dice?
3 help and then 1 from my affiliation.
3 help from
King, Connor, Antonius.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, I mean, you can name this person and we could flesh them out if you wanted to, but like, I think the point of this, right, is to just have a person who's actually able to oversee the building.
I mean, I don't care about this guy. If Connor or Antonius want to talk. I have too many people to keep track of as it is.
Yeah, we know he exists. We can talk to him if you want to. But mainly we just kind of zoom in on the Colosseum and we see a bunch of like scaffolding and workers going to and fro. And we kind of get a shot of Cantarius standing with his staff in hand, probably maybe the staff is like leaned up against the wall of like a scaffolding or something nearby. And he just has maybe his arms folded, watching the thing, watching like the workforces go here and to and fro, doing their work. And it's a very similar scene to probably flashbacks we've gotten of Cantarius before as a taskmaster. But obviously Cantarius is older and more grizzled and haunted. So what do we see Cantarius? Is that an accurate description of what we see in this initial shot?
I think so.
Yeah. What's Cantarius' style? As we kind of see some of his task mastering, obviously you use like intimidation and stuff, but like, has it changed from what you used to do?
We're
opening
just telling people with me being a taskmaster.
Yeah.
I think I don't believe I had the command or oratory skills before.
No, it was just intimidation.
So yeah, I think it was just intimidation, and I think he did realize that that's what it was. But now coming back to it, I think he does, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not that person anymore," and kind of realizes like, that was not wasn't good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I've changed.
Yeah,
probably
so
reflecting a little bit on that.
Command and oratory instead of intimidation, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, so we probably see you, clap some people on the back, right? Joking and laughing with your men, and whereas before you would just like stand brutally off to the side and like bark orders.
Well, I feel like
people got out of line.
command and oratory are still more like authoritative.
Sure.
But it's the way that he's encouraging rather than demeaning.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, oh, don't worry.
He's not very personable. Like he's not the kind of guy that's like making small talk with people.
That makes sense. We probably hear you shout something like, get another man on that and you can lift it no problem, right? Like using positive reinforcement instead of
being like, you weakling.
What are you doing? Yeah, exactly.
Lift with your legs.
Yeah.
Stop telling me your back hurts.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so we see a bit of that. How about we have you make that roll just to see how it's going, right? Because that's your job in this, is to oversee it on a personal level, right? If the architect is the strategist of the war, you're the squad leader, right? You're the battle commander. So let's have you make that probably command, right? Makes the most sense.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Kind of ordering people around. But you can certainly fork in oratory, and you can fork in intimidation, but it didn't sound like that's what you were doing.
No, I think he's.
You wanna?
I think he's trying to
explicitly leave that out. Yeah.
Yeah. If I was trying to metagame this, I would say he's still got a little bit of his roots still in there. He's trying to cut him out, but for now, let me work it in.
Yeah.
But I ain't about that life. I ain't about that life no more. I suppose I could fork in persuasion. But I'm not sure if that really I mean, I don't think like it changes what I'm saying really.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that works though, because like you're very clearly like ordering a bunch of people around, and as opposed to like, because you explicitly described Cantarius not doing small talk, so that would be what persuasion would more likely be, right?
On a one-on-one basis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, persuasion is about intimate like conversations and stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not upset. Hey.
I'll let you fork in Junkwise though.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Right. It's a wise that's relevant to what you're doing.
Possibly mending then as well. But
I think unless you're like, you didn't describe yourself like helping anyone do this, right?
No, but I suppose I was gonna say, but my knowledge of that's
Junkwise,
work
right?
Into it, but I'm not doing both of those things.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Junkwise is basically your catch-all kind of like a craftsman sort of wise that's helping you know things.
What's the ob here?
Yeah, I guess it would be probably like the base ob of the people.
Their will.
Yeah, their will. Let's say
they're construction workers. Make it 3.
I was gonna say let's say 5, only because so I think their will is gonna be 4. Like as a overall.
These are bad construction workers. They're way too stubborn.
But I think it's
kiss ups as they need to be.
It's an increased ob simply because this is Cantarius' first time working with any of them, right? So it's like a little bit harder to get your feet under you. You've never been over these people before, so.
Okay.
But you should have enough dice to see it through.
Okay. You said base ob is 5? It's 4. Okay.
Or sorry, 5. Sorry.
Okay. That's what I was trying to remember which number was which. Yep. Okay.
You get 2 6s though. Yeah.
Should be able to squeeze by with that bad boy.
Hey, you're welcome. I gave you a difficult test on this.
Woohoo!
Oh, thanks. There you go.
Nice.
Okay, let me look. Add that fate to command and difficult test. There we go.
Yeah. Very fun. Yeah, so we see it as we've described it so far, right? And it's as you described, right? You didn't get into small talk with any of these guys, but they respect you certainly, right? They don't know who you are. I don't know if anyone. Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, because there might be people here who you've worked with before on crews. Right? It's possible that someone from your old days, like, just happened to be a part of one of these workforces.
I mean, am I in the same city?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, duh. Yeah, that makes sense. And the people I was working with, it was related to the king last time too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, it's probably a few of the same. It's probably the same crew, but just whoever's died off. And whoever's too injured, or it's probably most of the same people.
I'm curious about this. Well, I mean, it's possible that they like disbanded that crew or something, maybe blamed them too for what happened, right? Let me double check. There's one person I had in mind in particular, but I don't know if, let's see, what has this person been spending their time doing? Yeah, okay. So it does seem like you've been doing well, Cantarius, right? There's general respect given to you by everyone here. But I think there's one person in particular who like you notice starting to give trouble to maybe just not pulling their own weight, and maybe you don't recognize them at first, right? Like it's a person who he has he's like in his mid-30s. He has long black kind of like, you know, it's kind of like the gross greasy side of the Aragorn hair sort of thing, right? And kind
of like what your hairstyle used to be. Oh, got it.
What? My hair was never that long. And then he has like a 5 o'clock shadow. I think what he's doing basically is you can tell that he's like distracted by something, right? And again, you're succeeding here, so this isn't like punishment for failure so much as you've done everybody else, and there is one person though who like might give you trouble depending on how things go. You'll have the support of everyone around you if something does go bad. But I think this one person seems distracted in their work. How would Cantarius handle that?
He probably single him out.
Yeah. What do you say?
Or I'm sorry, he doesn't single him out. He'd probably go up to him one-on-one. That's what I meant.
Sure.
That's what I meant to communicate. Single him out would be
call him out in front of everyone.
Yeah. No, he'd probably just go up to him and says something like, hey, notice that you seem a bit distracted today. How are you feeling?
Do you want to make a circles test, Cantarius, to see if you recognize the guy?
Nope.
Okay, you can just not.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. Let's make it up 3.
Okay.
Like I think
do I have a reputation or affiliation advantage?
Your only reputation is Demon Hunter.
Oh, so that it has to be an actual die. It's not just like
The idea with circles here is that you're able to roll this test because you might have already known this guy, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
But I think it's unlikely that you would randomly recognize him in this moment.
What's the ob?
3.
Oh, interesting. I'll probably fail.
Now let's make it. I was gonna say make it 2, but I think it's difficult either way, and you failed, so 0. You can mark that difficult test though. Yeah. So I think so we can see on his face that he recognizes you, but you don't notice this yet. And he says, what would you say exactly? Your question was like, are you doing okay?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. He says,
this is awkward.
He has like a kind of like sardonic grin. And he just says,
define sardonic.
Kind of like it's not really like humorous. It's more like a mocking grin. He grins at you and he says, "I'm doing okay, Cantarius." No, he probably I think he says Cantarius instead of Sir. I'm doing okay, Cantarius. Just thinking about the drinks I'm gonna have after work. You know.
So you're a piece of garbage. Is that what you're saying? I was kidding.
Can a man look forward to a good drink after a long day's labor?
He can if he focuses on his work. Otherwise, what would there be to enjoy?
Yeah, fair enough. And I think he says, just curious, sir. Since you're half-blood,
his eyebrows go up.
You worship the great god, or you worship those Teconi stewards? I think Cantarius
I don't know
can tell,
if he has an answer to this question.
Yeah. I think Cantarius can tell, like, it's not the focus of the question is on you being half Teconi and not like what he doesn't care who you worship. He's just like pointing out like your foreignness for some reason. You're not entirely sure why.
He's a racist and a drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have a problem with me? Why don't we cut to the chase? I'm gonna roll intimidation.
Yeah.
And he rolls intimidation in this case. He's like get him to say what's on his mind.
Sure.
I'm gonna fork in command since I'm his superior. Actually, no, I don't need to. I'm just gonna roll without it. What's the difficulty?
It'll be his will. So let me check that.
You're just gonna say 10, aren't you? I'm gonna be like, it's a demon.
It's 4.
Oh, okay. Wow, I just made it.
Nice. He punches you across the face.
You mean he attempts to punch me across the face?
He attempts to punch you across the face. Let me do that.
And watch your mouth there, Caleb. Watch your mouth.
Right, like if your goal is to get him to say what's on his mind, that the only thing that's on his mind is a knuckle sandwich. So
it's violence.
Yeah, he was
Same.
working up to that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna roll brawling in defense, but can I fork in junk wise since this person is a piece of junk? He's literal garbage.
Sure.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, it's meant to be slightly, slightly up to interpretation.
Okay.
All the time in our play-by-post Burning Wheel game, people use the skill Pest-wise to deal with bugs and annoying people. So, op 3.
Yeah, Connor, last session he had he let me fork in, was it sword-wise or technique-wise during a seduction attempt?
It was technique-wise.
Either way.
Yeah, op 3, Connor, when you get the chance. Nice. Yeah, so you're being attacked, so I think you are the defender. And he doesn't have any fate points, so yeah, I think you like catch the punch or whatever you want to do. Obviously I think he's talking to Mickey right now, so
say that again. I'm the defender, so I don't get punched, right?
You're the defender, yeah, so you win. So you can deal with that however you wish.
I think I mean, it's not like this is a super, like, it's obviously a close call, but can I just say that I just block it with my hand and it hurts a bit, but I look cool?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So just grab him. Yeah.
No, he just like that.
The one hand. Yeah, the classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he does that, and he would obviously just like try to go for another like underhanded punch or whatever, but I assume you just like knock him on the ground.
If he tries to punch again, he just folds his wrist back and makes him bow.
Yeah. Curse you, Cantarius. You mean you don't remember me?
I'm usually pretty good with junk, but this particular piece seems to elude my mind, or elude my memory.
Yeah. And he doesn't say anything. He's just like grunting, like waiting for you to release him.
He's waiting for me to remember.
No. He doesn't say anything. He's just grunting, waiting for you to release his arm. He's just like, gritting his teeth.
I mean, I guess I'd release him.
Yeah, I assume maybe like release him and like push him away a little bit, right?
Nah, look him in the eyes.
Okay, yeah. So just release
Just
him. And like kneeling.
Just like if you want to punch me again, like he's not afraid. He's not trying to separate himself from the situation. He's like, I can take this guy, no problem.
Yeah, let me make a test for him real quick. I think there's a chance he could just run. Yeah, he does. Okay. His will breaks. Right. Yeah, his will breaks. Actually, I guess it would be a steel test. So yeah, let me do that.
Yeah.
I forgot how this game dealt with that. He doesn't feel safe, so this is.
I mean, who would in this circumstance, to be honest?
Standard steel. Yeah. So he spends 3 beats running away. Right. So he just scrambles to his feet and just takes off. And yeah, you don't remember, like you're assuming it was some guy like you maybe had to get like fire or something in the past or whatever, right? You don't know exactly, but no, for story's sake, right? Like the kind of vibe we get here is that we will see this man later, right? Like this is someone from Cantarius' past who may show up again, depending on how things go. But yeah, he just takes off, grumbling to himself and grabbing his like work gear and just like running off. Not wanting to put up a fight with you, at least in a fist fight.
I wouldn't want to put up a fight with me either.
Yeah, I was gonna say he we see in his eyes, we see murder in his eyes, right? Like as he leaves. So we, the kind of like foreshadowing, he's like, I'm gonna come back and have a knife or whatever, right? And like, but for now, yeah, you just chase him off, and I think maybe there's a moment where like the rest of the. Because obviously there was like a little bit of a scene there, and everybody like was pausing and watching, and they all just like, I don't think they like cheer or anything, but they just like nod in respect to you. A couple of them do, and then go back to work. And I think that's when Antonius comes over. And I'm gonna make a roll for Antonius real quick. I think he needs to upgrade his circles. So I thought it might make sense for him, since given what he's doing right now, he's like getting back into the guild situation. I'm going to have him just make an Ob1 circles test to circles up an apprentice. Okay, he fails. But he upgrades, and I can spend a fate on that to see if he can succeed. Anyway. So remaining on 1, dice 1. Yep, okay, perfect. Yeah, so you see Antonius, and he has I don't know how Cantarius would think about this, but like it kind of, whoops, that's the wrong screen. It kind of looks like Antonius is like, if you didn't know better, this looks like a man with his son, right? Antonius just kind of walks up with tools in his hands. He has the mending skill, so like he's been helping around here. His primary stuff is in blacksmithing and whatnot. So if there's any, he's probably like making like fancy doors and stuff and like hinges and locks and whatnot for the doors that are eventually going to go in here. But I think he's also just helping out in general around the work site. But he walks up and he has this like apprentice tailing him with like some diagrams or whatever, right? Some like scrolls that have like different orders and whatnot that he needs to fulfill for this job. And he just walks over and gives you a nod, and he talks to you for a moment as if you're just the taskmaster, right? He just says, Mr. Tasky, we have, this underway, and I'm going to need to steal a couple of your men for this job over here or whatever, right? And just kind of small talk in terms of taskmastering. And then he sends his apprentice off to do something. Is there a how does Cantarius I'm just curious if we see anything on Cantarius' face, knowing that like Antonius lost his son, and like his son like turned to the cult and like ran away, and there was this whole big dramatic thing in season 2. And that's definitely the first like what it looks like when Antonius walks over this with his apprentice. I'm just curious if we see anything on Cantarius' face as he like observes that, or if he's emotionless.
Did his son die?
His son didn't die.
Okay,
Basically, he was going to die in that big battle that happened, like the massacre that happened in season 2, and Antonius grabbed him and like dragged him away from the whole thing. And then they had like an argument, and Antonius let his son leave, basically, and just like take off.
And this isn't his son.
This is not his son. This is just a random apprentice that he managed to get.
Okay. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. And again, if there's nothing in particular, that's fine. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Yep. I think, if we were seeing some of this from Antonius's perspective, this is pretty significant for Antonius. Like it seems like his shoulders are a little lighter. Right. There's not so much weight on them, it seems, proverbially. And he seems a little bit more jovial than he usually is. He seems to be getting into the groove of the life as a blacksmith pretty well. But yeah, so he sends his apprentice off, right? And then he like, you step to the side for a little bit, even further than you were before, kind of off to the side of you're probably like in the middle of the like big Colosseum arena when all this is happening, right? Like that's kind of like the work site currently. And you take a step off, maybe into one of the little like corridors that like the gladiators would come out of to like go in and fight, like at a football stadium where the team runs out onto the field, that sort of vibe. And he says, his voice like echoes as he says, just softly, I'm worried about Theo. I don't think he understands what he's gotten himself into.
What do you mean? What has he gotten himself into?
Yeah, he says, I haven't seen him for some days now. He was given I think it was probably some like he was invited to some like he was invited to a private meeting of some of Faustus's inner circle, and he hasn't been seen from since.
Oh, I knew about that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he like joined the cult, and like Antonius was expecting him to be seen regularly around, like when cult meetings were happening and stuff. But he's just like, I haven't seen him since that happened. So I don't know like what is going on, like if he's being kept hostage or whatever. He just gives you a look like I don't know what to do. Like, and I'm the inside guy right now. I thought I was going to be the only inside guy. He probably even says that, right? He's just like, did you tell him to do that?
No, I didn't.
I can't say I'm surprised. He was always impulsive, but I didn't think he was that impulsive.
I didn't either. Not after everything that. After everything that we've done in the past few. What's the word?
I mean,
it'd be months because in the past year. Yeah. Okay. I was trying to figure out how long it's been.
Yeah, I think it's been a year since season 3, right? I think that's correct. Yeah. Yeah, he's like, what do you want me to do? Anything?
What can we do?
He shrugs. He says, I have skills for a reason, Cantarius. I've snuck into bases before. I could do reconnaissance on Faustus's house, try to see if I can find where Theo is. But if you don't want me to risk my position, then I won't.
Don't know. I think it's probably best that we trust Theo for now. Wait to see what happens. Don't risk your position. It might be more helpful to. Risk that Theo, when Theo needs our help.
He nods. He's like, Cantarius, he might already need our help. That's the issue. I don't know what's happening behind closed doors. Do you want me to ask around?
I don't know.
I've never been good at convincing people to give me information, but I can try.
That might be all we can do for now. Don't risk too much, but ask around.
Okay. Yeah, he nods. And I think he'll go ahead and head off and do his thing here. And I can make a roll for him in a bit, but let's have Alfons show up. I guess we'll cut over to Alfons first and see if we can get the orb from Theo, and then go from there.
Oh yeah. So, what's the?
So you're trying to teleport him, teleport it away? Is that the idea?
Yeah, just teleport the orb to me.
Okay. This is probably going to be a very difficult endeavor for multiple reasons. But we can try
something with it.
Well, I mean, it's not even that. It's like a powerful magical artifact that might have like defenses against this sort of thing, right?
But the thing is, it's linked to me, which is why I think it would be.
That's true.
Yeah, like if I was trying to teleport any of the other ones, I think it would be impossible. But if
that makes
the specific one that's linked to me and wants to be in my possession, I think that's what makes it possible, if not easier.
Some of this depends on what Theo is doing with it.
Yeah.
I guess the idea here would be you would have to have tried to steal this, like tried to take it away from him before he got into Faustus's hands.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say this. I think the timeline can line up there. Let's have this. This is going to be that roll, right? If you fail to do this, that means probably Targoth has it, or sorry, Faustus has it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, there's probably bindings or something they can do to keep it from keep you from doing stuff like this. So you have one shot, I think, to get it through.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So the options we have here, we have like arcane action, where you pass a simple physical test. There's a versus test between a target's stat or skill.
Does an object have a stat or skill?
No, but like this might be against, again, as I was saying before we got on, like it might be something like
against Theo's will?
Against Theo or something? Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what makes the most sense.
Because if it's against Theo's will, that's not very hard.
Yeah, I guess.
Not that I'm saying I want it to be hard, but
yeah.
I also don't know if that makes sense because he's not linked.
Any simple physical test. Let's do this. I think you're just making basically you're using arcane action to do it as if you were doing a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Because the big thing here is just, does Theo notice that this is about to happen, or that it's being transported away, and maybe he grabs it at that point?
I don't think I care if he notices, which is
okay.
That changes it.
I still think that makes the most sense as the test. I guess I just don't know the ob then.
I mean, I think the ob would be a little bit easier if I'm not trying to. Or well, I mean, yeah, screw it.
Part of the issue is like
we'll just do it that way. That's fine.
Well, so I was gonna say part of the issue too is that it's like probably inside a bag or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you can't even see it. This is you doing it like from a distance. This is gonna be pretty difficult. Okay, I think the base ob is going to be 3. Okay. Just for like if it was a sleight of hand test, that's the sort of thing that's happening. And then from there, we're going to
try and get closer to him using some means yet determined to make that easier.
I don't know if you know where he is, right?
Yeah, that's why we're going to do some rolls before.
Okay, yeah. What are you trying to do then? Like, if you're like, I need it from Theo, what would be your first step?
Just find the general area he's in, since I know the further away it is, the harder it'll be. Yeah,
so do you show up at Dellen's house maybe, and then like Dellen's wife points you Like, oh, they went to go to one of the cult meetings and it was like over here, I think. And then you like head over in that direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's have you make us like a stealthy or inconspicuous then first to like
Okay.
sneak through that quarter and get into position.
Yeah.
Sure.
What's the ob for that? Can I do inconspicuous?
I think inconspicuous is fine. You can
Okay.
okay, you can do
Fork in
inconspicuous if you
stealthy?
like get rid of your armor and like are actually like wearing normal clothes.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll still get a +1 ob because you have mark of privilege. You're a nobleman. But
Can I leave my mark of privilege with my armor?
you cannot. It is literally intrinsic to your being.
That was
Yeah. Okay, I think this must be. It's probably Faustus rolling against you, right? Because he would be the person to notice more than anyone.
I'm not
he has a
going
pretty good-
inside his house.
I know, but he's like at the meeting that you're going to.
Oh, I wasn't gonna go into the meeting. I just wanted to get close to the meeting.
No, I know, but he has magical stuff that he could like try to notice you with, right?
Okay.
So I think, yeah, maybe aura reading. Let's check what the obs are for aura reading. That makes sense as a thing. Yeah, he like sense magic with it and stuff. Okay, yeah, he'll roll aura reading against your inconspicuous. I'll go ahead and roll for him first, with any forks you might have, and you can roll against that. Let's see, fork in observation. I think. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. All right. He will go ahead and. Oops. All right. That means I'll go ahead and.
All right.
Spend some fate. No, I'll wait until spend some fate unless I need to. Actually, it's already open ended, so it would be a coin flip. Okay, so your final ob is 8 then because of the market privilege.
Okay. Ow, kitty. So inconspicuous. I'll fork in stealthy.
Okay.
City-wise.
Yes, that makes sense. You're navigating through the city
Noble-wise,
streets.
'cause I'm hiding from a noble and.
Festus is not a noble.
Oh well, I'm fine. I'm hunting for a noble. Theo's a noble.
Yeah, but the roll here is not against a noble, right? So I don't think it matters. I don't think it counts for this roll.
Got it. Court gossip.
No.
That's how I found this place, though.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Again, I'm sure it happened somewhere, but it doesn't help this roll.
Yeah. Okay.
This is you trying not to be noticed by a guy with magic eyes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to roll an essential discipline here to get +3.
Okay.
And that's ob 4, right?
Yes.
Can I just fork in continuous and spatial like normal, or?
If the roll is for essential to give you bonuses, I think you can fork in. No, I don't.
No,
think
I'm not talking
sense.
about forking into essential. I'm talking about forking into not being noticed.
Oh, you can fork in spatial. No, I don't think so. You'd have to roll separately for those. Like that's the way the Bernie Wheel wants us to do this.
Yeah, I'll roll to get help dice from both of those.
Okay.
I'm gonna put 1 Artha into essential.
Yeah, because the idea is like magic is dangerous, and if you fail, consequences happen. You can't just like fork automatically.
So I get +3 from that.
Yep.
Just do the same for spatial, but I'm gonna do to only get +2.
Okay.
Boom.
Nice.
Dang, I should have done. Okay. I'm gonna do it again with continuous, but I'm gonna do +3.
I don't know if continuous really helps you here.
Well,
being
I'm
able to
slowing
just
down
slow-
people's perceptions.
Oh, yeah, other people's. That makes sense. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that would be actually a hinder roll. You're not. So how much plus ob penalty do you want to give here? It's 2 for ob 1, 3 for ob 2, and 5 for ob 3.
I'll do 3 for ob 2.
Okay.
So does that just? Yeah. Okay.
It's basically giving you free successes.
Okay.
Right, because you're hindering him.
Wait, oh dang! I forgot to. I forgot about the whole naming thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is sovereign hour for continuous discipline.
Mm.
Okay. So.
Well, it's not sovereign hour because that's when you're doing it on yourself.
Oh. Okay.
Right. This is like slowing other people's perceptions down, so it's just a different thing.
Gotcha.
So if you want to come up with a name of it, you can. But
oh, chronostasis is the one I was talking about.
okay, perfect.
Sorry, I have so many skills.
Yeah.
I lose my place. Okay.
It'll be nice when we can actually like start a new campaign and not have a bajillion things going on.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that. All right, so
cool. That's a lot of dice.
5 from the first 2, and then 1 for stealthy, and then 1 for the other thing, city-wise.
Yeah, so don't add dice for your continuous discipline. We'll just add 2 successes to whatever you roll.
That's what I'm doing.
Cool.
And I'm going to put 3 Artha into this.
Okay. Ob 8.
Well, no, it would be Ob.
Yeah, just put it Ob 6, yeah.
6.
Nice.
I'm glad I did every single thing the way I did it.
Yeah.
I just passed. Holy crap.
Nice.
All right, well, what happens at this meeting that I wasn't planning on attending, but I guess I'm here now?
Yeah, I mean, we can just have you show up at the end of it, right? So you don't actually hear most of it. You probably just see Theo, like, stand up and, like, join the cult, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so he just, like, makes a little speech and says,
this is
I would join.
Faustus the demon that he's joining.
This is Faustus the demon guy. Yeah, he's joining the cult. He did not tell anyone about this. He just did it.
Can I roll empathy to see if he's, like, legit or if he's, like, doing a thing?
Sure. Yeah, you can roll empathy on him. I mean, Theo told us last time what his mind, his mental state was when he did this. So,
well, what was it? Not for Alfons, but for me.
I mean, I'll tell you if and when you roll, right?
Empathy, and then noble wise.
Yeah, noble wise makes sense. This is an ob 4 to decipher an intent.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything. I mean, unless inconspicuous and stealthy help me here.
Nope.
Can I fork in? Can I roll my magic?
I don't think so. You don't think you have time.
Yeah, I figured.
It's gonna be led away pretty soon here.
Help 1. He's ob 4.
Yep.
I'm gonna
coin flip
it. Yeah.
All right.
Dang,
nope,
son.
Yeah, so you don't know. Theo is an enigma to you. Yeah, so you're like, wait a second, did you just betray us?
I mean, yeah, I think he betrayed us. Oh wait, can Marani help? She's with me, right?
No.
I thought the whole thing was she was gonna stay with me now.
No, she's not gonna. She's a goddess. She's not gonna walk around with you.
That was the whole
then you
thing.
Would, okay, Alfons, then you would have immediately failed all of your inconspicuous tests there, right? Yeah.
I thought that was one of the.
No, she still has God stuff to do. Like she can't just walk around all the time.
Well, I thought the thing was she was hiding from the God of War with me.
Not with you. I don't think that makes sense.
Okay. But she's still hiding.
Yeah, she's still hiding.
Oh.
But you can do that more effectively with God magic and stuff, right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So, you see, I mean, this makes a lot of sense now, right? Like Theo is walking away with the orb, and I assume it's Alphonse is like, I gotta take that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be easier for you to just take his entire satchel that you know it's in, because you can actually see that.
Okay.
But up to you.
Yeah. How much easier?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. So I think we said base ob 3.
So ob 2.
I think we'll say base ob 2, but then you're doing it against someone else, so that's an increased ob. So back to ob 3, and then, or no, sorry. Actually, this is across like some of these things are target related, and some of these obstacles are distance related, and the distance matters more here. So it's actually going to be ob 6, so it's going to be like +4.
I thought I was
for
close.
distance. Yeah, and you're a crowd away, right?
Okay.
So it's ob 4 plus added. So ob 6, and then how long do you want this to last? Trying to think what makes sense for duration here.
Well, the bag can go back instantly, but the orb's gonna stay with.
Yeah, I'm not sure duration matters.
I don't think duration makes.
Here.
I think we should get rid of duration for teleportation stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, at least in this instance, because if you do it, it happens. It doesn't need to last longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So I think it's ob 6 altogether.
Okay.
And this is ob 6 to take the satchel, which will mean that someone might notice that his satchel suddenly disappears.
Mm-hmm. What would the ob be just for the orb? Would that be 7?
Just
then?
for the orb, I'm thinking 8 altogether.
Okay, I'll do the satchel.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's pretty difficult to. Because I mean, not only can you not see it, but it's also the orb. So there's some weird magic stuff with it. So
well, I am gonna roll essential for this one since I've got at least a little bit of time as he's like getting up and. Right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, keep in mind, essential is like a pretty conspicuous thing to do. I think it makes more sense if you don't do this.
Oh.
Right?
Well,
like
then this is impossible.
Then it's impossible.
Yeah.
Well, it's not impossible with Artha, but yeah.
Then it is very unlikely.
Yeah. So I mean, Alfon, you can do it. It's just going to be noticeable. That's what I'm saying right now.
Okay,
like your
yeah,
inconspicuous will drop like after you get this.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Well, I'm gonna fork in inconspicuous and stealthy into this as well, so to not be noticed.
You can't fork it into essential. No, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, I'm forking it into spatial.
I don't think that makes sense either. Like you're just teleporting it to you. That it doesn't.
But I'm doing it in a way that's. How would that not help?
I don't think so.
If someone notices me channeling and like aiming at it and doing.
Well, the actual act. Well, as a reminder, your power is Narani. And since you've literally gotten Narani to be your lover, you don't need to do any sort of like prayer or anything these days. Okay. You just get it automatically, right? So, like there's nothing stealthy happening as part of it. Like it's just a given. The actual action you're taking is just magic concentration. So.
And I can't, but I couldn't fork stealthy or inconspicuous into essential then either.
No,
like if I it would have the cloak to be over me to hide the glow.
I mean, again, that's already like the role you're going to make after this. Once someone notices you to slip away, that's when that matters.
Okay.
Yeah.
This might be Deed's point. Spending worthy.
Oh, really?
I need this to happen.
on teleportation and spatial discipline.
Ow, kitty. Dude, I just don't see this as being possible. I have one fork into this. Unless I can fork. Can I fork in the other magics into it?
You can fork in. Yeah, you can fork in both of them. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So I mean, you can roll for essential if you can roll for either of them if you'd like to. It just will make you noticeable. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Oh, I thought you said I could.
No. So yeah, sorry. I went back and forth a couple times. What I mean to say is like you taking time to do this is the thing would make you conspicuous. So yeah, all of a sudden someone would see like Theo's satchel disappear and you're glowing on top of the roof and like it'd be a whole thing.
Yeah, I'll do essential. Because I can just teleport away, right?
Yeah, there'll be another roll, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll roll my essential. Get +3, and this is Golden Embrace, or I think what it was.
Golden hour or whatever.
Oh no, that's Sovereign Hour. Okay, I'll get it right.
Oh, Sovereign Hour. Yeah. Golden Embrace. Yeah.
So I got +3, and then continuous. Whatever what did I just name the one that I just did to slow people's perceptions?
Chronostasis.
Chronostasis. Okay. Yeah. Oh, oops, not Artha. 3. Did that do anything for you guys? Did that pop up?
Yep, I see it.
You see continuous?
Oh no, just essential.
Oh, okay. I'll redo that. That didn't show up for some reason. All right, cool.
Nice.
I get +2
Right
for that.
So 3 and 2.
Yep.
Nice.
So that happens, and now I'll roll my spatial.
Yep.
And stealthy and conspicuous don't help this, right?
No, they did not.
Okay. I'll do noble wise because it's Theo I'm stealing from.
I don't think it matters here. You're just targeting a satchel. That's the only thing that you're doing.
Gotcha.
Right. That's why inconspicuous and stealthy don't matter. Like you're literally just magically concentrating a satchel to teleport to you. Yeah. Like I wouldn't have given you noble wise to teleport Valerio's belt off of him either.
Yeah. I had a very noble belt.
Right. Exactly.
What was it? You said the base sub was 7 or 6 or 8?
6 for if you're just doing the whole satchel.
Okay.
Nice. Holy moly.
A lot of 6s.
A lot of 6s. Yeah.
I think that means I don't get caught.
I don't think that's what happens. This isn't fate. You don't actually get great successes or whatever. Yeah. So Alfons, satchel's in your hand, right?
Yeah.
But Faustus's eyes immediately see you, right? He just snaps his gaze up.
He's got a roll. He already failed the roll. He got to roll again.
Okay. Sure. I'll make the roll. Jared, but I'll let you know right now. It's basically an ob 1 because you just cast a spell. It's very easy to see a spell with aura reading.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
right. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is like aura reading is like super easy to
no,
notice.
I still want you to roll it.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
We've had Connor rolls where the odds were this bad.
I didn't even fork anything, and he got it. Yes. So, and like, this isn't like he's going to immediately catch you, but now we make a roll to see if you can get away from Faustus, because this whole session might be, Alfons is also tied up next to Theo.
Yeah. I want
what makes
to roll speed. I want to enhance my speed with all of my magic and just run.
Just run. Yeah.
Like,
I think his role is going to be. So what he does is, he makes a motion to a retainer who's like constantly standing next to him, right? Like this young man who's like a servant of his that's standing next to him, and the young man immediately produces a bow and arrow and hands it to Faustus, and Faustus is just going to like shoot you with a bow. And it's a massive honking bow too, Alfons. Like if it hits you, it will probably be bad. So that's his role.
Let's roll yours first, since I'm the defender.
Yeah, no. I
need to know how much I'm gonna cry.
Yep. Okay, let me see what he can fork here.
I am blowing through Artha this game. I need to still -3 from that last one quick.
Okay, he got 9, but he'll go ahead and spend fate. I guess he'll wait until after you roll though.
All right.
So yeah, I'm 9.
Should I just start rolling my magic abilities?
Yeah. So walk me through what you're actually doing here. You're just
Okay.
running.
Because if I just teleported, my teleportation would be against his bow, right?
Yes. Basically, I think no matter what, you're rolling against his bow, right? That's the issue. Is this is like now a
Okay.
versus test.
Yeah, I'm doing speed.
Okay, so if you're keep in mind if you're just rolling a stat against a skill, his ob becomes 18.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you're using something skilled against something like just a stat, that's what happens.
I'm doing sword, baby. Let's go.
Let's back out from this.
I'm cutting this bow with this arrow in half. Let's go.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna attack him.
No.
Okay, all right.
I'm defending with sword.
Yeah, you just want to like quick slice right through the arrow before it gets
and
you.
then
Okay,
my escape will be a different.
That makes sense. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So like this is him taking his turn, me responding to it, and then I get it, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, because like the only way something like this is possible, right, is if you have essential discipline magic.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if like
continuous and spatial will all help.
Right. I'm curious if we just roll that instead. Okay, this is what I want you to do. First, Alfons, you have to roll a continuous discipline test to be able to react in time. Right? Like, so I think
react well. I mean,
yeah, no, but this is the thing, right?
His guy is slowly handing him a gigantic bow.
No, it's drawing... not. It doesn't matter that you have time with the bow. It's to be able to like slash an arrow in half. You have to be able to, right?
I'll just use my my ATM ability for that.
Yeah, that's what I figured, right? That's basically what you need to do this.
That one's Sovereign Hour.
But that one's just like giving you advantage dice, right?
Yeah.
But I think what's happening here is that you have to make a roll to be able to do this in the first place. To like have the presence of mind to be able to make sword the skill you're using.
Well, I think the time of him handing him the bow and then knocking a bow and arrows and knocking an arrow would be plenty of time for me to draw my sword. No,
it's not. Again, not the issue. Jared, normal people
that's what you just
described. Arrows in half. But no.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the time to like prep and then.
Yes, it's totally, you can do magic for a while. Like there's a moment here where he has to grab his bow, but what I'm saying here is you can't just get advantage dice from it. The roll here is to be able to do it at all, right? If you fail this roll, you can't roll sword. So,
I think since I'm prepared, I think the sword roll should just be to see if I can do it. Like if it was a surprise attack, or like
what I'm saying is if someone else was doing this and they didn't have continuous discipline, I would not let them roll this test. So you have to use your continuous discipline to be able to.
You wouldn't let Dellen roll his sword against this attack?
No. If you're on a roof, Alfons, and he's shooting you with a bow, you can't do this normally.
Arrows aren't that fast, dude. It's not a bullet.
Jared, you can't cut an arrow in half.
Dude, there are literally people in real life who slice airsoft BBs in half with a katana.
Yes, I know. Can you cut an arrow in half with a sword? Let's just look at the likelihood of like. I mean,
it's not likely, but I'm saying it's within the realms of real people on our plane of existence.
There's actually a whole Japanese martial art that allows you to do this.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. And it's true. You actually did get trained by a guy who knows Japanese sword style. So yeah. Okay.
If it was a bullet, I would so be on your side here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, then he pulls out a gun instead. No, guns aren't invented yet. Okay, so
okay, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
With the time discipline, he could bring a gun from the future.
No, you can't time travel with this magic.
Oh, he's not. You're not time traveling. You're time traveling something to you.
No. Okay, so you can then roll Sovereign Hour then, I think.
Okay. Cool beans.
Yeah, that's fine.
I need to keep track of how much I'm using this.
This is getting interesting.
Was that sarcasm?
You have no idea, Connor. Last session was wild.
Well, it is a little bit of sarcasm, but mostly just we've argued about the physics of cutting arrows in half. So it's funny.
Yep.
And somehow Jared still wins.
There's an entire martial.
Yeah,
art
it exists. It
dude.
exists.
Okay, come on. Okay. We've got magic.
We have the technology.
Wow,
That is bad.
I failed.
Yeah, you could coin flip it and try to do. Or it's not a coin flip, but you could spend a fate and do a 1 in 12 chance.
Yeah, I may as well.
You have so many fate. Yeah. Yeah. So 1 success, but you needed a 6 and another success. So
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you fail. Which means for you. It's let's see, probably just like I'll just give you he has a now 11 successes, right? Margin of, or no, sorry, 10 successes because you've got that extra.
Yeah.
Yep. So margin of failure, he adds to his roll. So op 10.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do the same with essential and spatial.
You don't have time to do more than one. Like these are magic takes time to do.
If that was the case, I would have put more into. I would have forked those into this.
Okay. I don't know. I constantly let you roll dice after the fact. I just think...
that's because you're not letting me know the full scope of the.
I thought it was obvious.
Yeah. Well, you just said that I don't have to spend time channeling anymore because I'm my god, my source of power.
No, it's not you have. It's not that you don't have to spend time channeling. It's just that like there's no chance she's going to say no.
Okay.
To having the energy. The actual getting the energy doesn't take time. It's channeling the energy itself that takes time.
Yeah.
I think we're going to leave the roulette stance. Like Alfons has been able to pull off so many like magic shenanigans. I think it's okay for him to fail here.
Okay. So,
like, I'm sure there were other times where I shouldn't have had you get extra dice after the fact.
Okay, so I'm rolling a sword then now?
Yeah, sword against op 10.
Okay. Am I allowed to just fork the other 2 disciplines in and not roll them? Just get +1?
Sure. I'll let you do that.
Brawling, fighting style, sword-wise, technique-wise. Can I try to...
Jared, I'll let you do one of them. I'll let you do essential.
Okay. Is he a noble?
No.
Can I use inconspicuous to try to blend in with the crowd and have someone in the crowd get hit instead?
No. You're on a roof.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Right, like you described yourself like kind of sneaking through and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you needed a good vantage point by which to see this satchel and stuff.
And what's the ob I need to get? 10?
10. If you do this will be awesome.
Screw it.
Oh, that was
no
bad.
6s.
That was
dude.
really, really bad.
I could white shade it.
Yeah.
I could deeds point it.
Didn't you already? No, have you spent a deeds point? Yeah, you did spend a deeds point on it.
Yeah, on swords.
Yeah, I mean you can't. It's not going to white shade until you get all 3.
Oh well, I meant for like the scene.
No, again, it won't happen again, right? Like you did it once already. You must have. Didn't it turn white shaded when you? Or no, sorry, this is sword. You gray. It's black shaded. So you mean gray shade?
Oh, or do the thing where you instantly succeed all of the fails.
Yes. That's
okay. Let's see
just
how bad is the damage that I take. As
I'll tell you right now, if I roll for that, then you can't go back and just spend a D's point. Like,
well, we already have the results.
Right, I know, but either I continue with results and you can't change it and actually do the damage, and at which point you could spend a persona, right? You could always spend a persona to like redirect the narrative away from this, but you can't spend your Deeds point after I've given you the damage.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I can just. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna. The thing is, I'm not going to die no matter what. I just don't want to take debilitating damage.
Yeah.
So you're saying if I can figure out the damage on my own, really?
You won't be able to. You actually roll randomly for this. For missile weapons, you roll on a table, and there's like chance between like
for
this wound and that wound.
Missile weapons? What?
Missile weapons, like yeah.
Oh,
like,
missile. I thought you said
bows.
miso, like the soup.
No.
Connor, what do you think I should do? All right, great input. I'll take the damage.
All right, I'm trying to find it. They don't have the weapon index in the compendium, which is annoying. Mm-hmm. Some of the most important things they should have.
So does my 6 make the thing less? Is it the difference?
No. Yeah, unfortunately, it just doesn't matter. If you get hit with an arrow or a crossbow or whatever, you just roll randomly to see how bad the damage is.
Mm-hmm. And it sure would be nice if I had my armor.
So the range here is from B4 to B12. That's the possibilities. So we're gonna roll a D6.
What's my lethal?
I don't think it's very high.
I have gray health.
Yeah, gray health doesn't give you gray shaded. You're a B10.
I thought it made it better. Oh, B10,
B10 is mortal for you. It's normal. So only way it would be, like, actually take you out would be if he gets a 5 or a 6 on this die.
Let's go.
Which he did.
Well, I can just spend a persona to not to.
Yes. So if you take this damage, you'll take a B12 wound and die instantly.
Can I narrate? So is that what the persona lets me do?
Yes. So as a reminder of what this means, right? If you're spending a persona, you have 2 options here. You can take the mortal wound and still live eventually, right? Still recover eventually by spending a persona, or you can, in this moment, choose to redirect the narrative away from your certain death and not take the mortal wound at all, in which case, if a character has just failed the test and gotten himself into deep trouble, certain death, captured, or something similarly horrible, the player can spend a persona point to escape, quote-unquote, certain death, and instead fall from the frying pan into the fire. The player chooses his new fate. It's got to be bad or costly, though. Otherwise, the GM can simply declare that the initial failed test result stands.
So as the arrow is about to, like, hit me, like, through the eye in my face,
yeah,
I get blinked away. And like as my vision clears, I'm like, am I dead? There stands the God of War.
The God of War, yeah. Absolutely. That's actually incredible. Yep. But you do have the orb on you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's think about this. The issue with that is exactly what Alfons wants.
It is not to confront him head on. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Okay. Are you okay with this, Connor? Does this seem like so right now Alfons has like this master plan to like mess up the gods and stuff, and I guess can we think of some other thing that might happen here? I just feel like that might escalate things.
I'm completely fine with something else happening.
I feel like it might escalate things too much.
At the wall.
Right?
Yeah.
But if we can't think of something else, we can.
Yeah. I mean, is this what Alfons would do? I mean, it's plain and simple for that for me. I mean, I don't see a reason to.
Well, this isn't about what Alfons would do. It's about because I'm spending a persona not to die, so I need to like point the narrative at something worse.
So basically, what would happen is not Alfons teleporting away; it's the God of War grabbing him and shunting him into his realm to fight him.
Oh, I see.
To like attack him and kill him.
This is just all meta.
Yeah. Because like Artha is like luck and destiny and stuff. So the idea is Alfons happened to be so lucky in that moment that he didn't get hit by an arrow, but he also has bad luck because
Right.
Because yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure what else it could be. Because we can't just like say, oh, you actually get a lesser wound than we just rolled, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It has to be basically the same level of bad or costly.
Either that or something.
What about this?
To Sergio?
What about this, Alfons? Alfons, what about this? What if you bring the satchel up just in time and he hits the orb with the arrow?
What does that do? Or what? Would
I don't know.
do?
It could either be like maybe you bring the satchel up and it cuts the strap and you have to drop the orb and flee before he fires another arrow at you, or it could be it actually hits the orb for some reason, and maybe that's what he was aiming for all along, and something bad happens. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, if the orb dropped, Alphonse would stay to like try and get it.
Yeah,
and we just be in the same.
We just escalate again.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm fine with, but.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because like we know at this point in meta, right, that the demons want the artifacts. They don't want to destroy them.
The orb dropping and me having to like stay for longer is a bad situation, but yeah, up to you, dude. You're the boss master.
I know. I'm trying to think.
Essentially, if that happened, I think I'd just roll speed to grab it and like flop on the other side of the building.
Yeah, because this is what I'm thinking, right? Like, if we go to God of War, either you like, there's really only two options. I don't know if you can convince him of anything, so he either kills you or you kill him. In which case, right, like escalation way more than we want right now.
Yeah.
Same with like you like it hits the orb and falls down.
Well, there's also the other thing we mentioned, dissolving the thing, dissolving their relationship with the orb.
Yes,
in a way that doesn't make him angry.
That's true. I don't know. It still seems like something that should happen later.
Yeah.
Right.
That was most definitely the plan, was to do that later, but
yeah.
For the safety of a room that I'm not directly in front of the God of War.
I would like this to be rising action still. I don't want it to get to climax really early, so let's not do that option.
Okay.
The only issue is like if we have the orb like fall down or whatever, I like it just seems like you're just gonna end up fighting Faustus then, right? Like that seems like where that goes. So we need something besides those two, I think.
Something Sergio related. And or the Inquisitor whose name I always forget.
Alfons, what if you do get hit by the arrow, but Constantino finds your body?
Okay.
I mean, he made. Remember what happened with the guy that Dylan accidentally killed?
Yeah.
Do we see Alphonse's body get dragged back to his experimentation room? And
does Alphonse still have the?
I don't know.
I think whatever's gonna happen in there is enough punishment.
I know. Man, this is tough.
Does 12 kill me instantly, or is that just?
Well, it's a mortal wound, right? So you have to spend a persona point to eventually be able to recover from a mortal wound. Okay. That's the idea. In which case, you just have to. People are going to have to make a bunch of recovery tests, and it probably will take years of time to get back to full health, right? Yeah, I don't know. Do we like just flip a coin?
What are the options on the court?
Well, yeah, I was thinking like maybe we roll a d6 and we just say, okay, 1 to 2 is God of War, 3 to 4 is Stay with Faustus, 5 to 6 is like you get hit and Constantino finds your body. Those are the only options I can see right now because like that's the only thing Sergio related I can see.
Yeah,
because like the thing that's happening right now, right, is an arrow is flying at your face. So
I could try out my new spell.
What was your new spell?
Panic button.
Oh right, yeah. I mean, again, like you. But again,
that would escalate, and then David's not here.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We'd have to end my part of the session here, and then
which we could also do that, right?
And then
that's the other thing I'm thinking.
David and that would just totally screw with David and the US session next week.
Yes, I mean because this is also happening like literally the day of the last session.
Yeah.
So it's possible that Cantarius' scene never even happened if like something drastic happens here, right? That's part of the issue.
Yeah, we don't want to just come back to Cantarius and be like, "Hey, while you were working on the Colosseum, we killed the final demon."
Exactly.
Although I don't think we could kill the final demon without him, which is the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Connor, help. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, no, this got in classic us RPG fashion, this got out of hand real fast.
I feel like okay.
all I thought this was gonna be was just a quick boop, pop in, grab it, and leave.
Yeah.
I think the Demon King to be there.
Yeah. Well, he was, and that was the only opportunity you had to steal the orb. So, yeah. Okay, I think I'm just gonna choose the Constantino option. We can talk about what exactly that means, but I think that's the one that makes the most sense in terms of not escalating things, right? Because that immediately means falling action instead of rising action or immediate jump to climax. It's we just see Alfons get hit, right?
How about maybe we keep not in the first part where it like I keep like the orb up and like it bounces off the orb so it doesn't kill me in the face. And something that's like revivable.
Yeah.
Caleb,
maybe that's what it is.
The orb is in my body. The arrow
just like the orb and
the arrow and the orb are in my body.
Oh, I demand that. Because then what could happen, right? That
it just blasts me off the roof, and then Constantine is like, "Oh, there you are."
Right, exactly. Oh man. Okay, I'm trying to think of how that exactly would work.
I mean, Constantino could have been trailing me, waiting for a chance to.
No, yeah, he actually has a belief
what
about
I'm doing.
You, so
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe this is what we see. Maybe we see. Okay. Yeah. So, arrow flies at your face. Alfons, you probably by instinct like move the satchel up. Maybe thinking like, oh, it's an invulnerable orb. Maybe I can just like block it with it, right? Because like you realize maybe you start to get your sword out, realize you don't have enough time, and then just like, because the satchel's like already in your hand. And it hits the orb, right? This arrow hits the orb. I mean, Faust is like a super magical demon dude, so he probably like, for purposes of what's going to happen here, probably juiced it up with like demon power and whatnot. So it actually does like go through the orb, like hits the orb. He didn't want this to happen, but it hits the orb and then goes into you, pushing it and the orb into you, the now cracked orb, and like shards of magic artifact and arrow are inside your chest.
Just
inside
for
your
continuity.
Chest cavity. Yeah.
Because you might have, unless this is how it's supposed to be. But last time you said destroying them was a very, very big task that only each of us could destroy our particular artifacts.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like in a weird twist of fate, you doing this in this moment, you holding up the orb to the demon arrow is the thing that did it.
Okay.
Right?
that's
Like,
fine with me.
I don't think the orb actually is gone, right? It's just
Okay.
transformed a little bit. That's really what's happening here,
Okay, that makes sense.
right? It's not the power hasn't gone away. You haven't actually destroyed it. It's just like
Okay.
the combination of weird events that happens here makes it go into your chest as like cracked remnants of this glass orb.
I just want to make sure we weren't contradicting.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we're kind of like the power of it hasn't gone away. It's just been transmuted somewhat, right?
Does he think it's destroyed?
I don't know. So I think what happens, right, is like the arrow, it's like a huge honking arrow too, right? So it like shoves into your chest, like punctures your chest, and then like you probably are just like grasping at it, and like the shaft snaps, and there's just like the tip of it is still in you, and you're just like your arms are just like trying to do anything, and you like your bodily functions are failing, and you just like fall backwards off the roof, and we just like everything goes to black, and like Cantarius. Like, I don't know if anyone knows what happened to Alfons, right? Like, this just happens. And Alfons, you just wake up in Constantino's laboratory, right? And he's like saved your life, right? But I'm trying to think of what exactly happened here. And maybe, and should it involve a roll, I guess is the question. Right? Like, does Constantino roll to attempt to do something? I think you live no matter what. So maybe we do roll just to see if like how well it goes.
Caleb.
Yeah.
I don't know if does he put the same thing that was on us in season 1?
I mean, that's kind of a similar thing that he did to Furio, right?
Yeah. Well, Furio's like a mutant abomination,
but he also has some sort of like thing like that.
Yeah. Well, although I don't know if he'd try that because I easily got rid of it in season 1, so he might try something.
Yeah, like whatever he does, it has to do with the orb itself, right? He finds this, he sees what's happening. Like oh my gosh, Alfons is now Tony Stark.
Let's go.
Slowly coming towards your heart, about to kill you. I managed to put a magical artifact that blocks the big magnet. Oh boy. Trying to think. Because like he sees that something is happening with this in your chest. And is going to use that. Okay, let's think about what the orb does. The orb magnifies magic that already exists. Maybe he uses it to magnify his own magic, right? In working on you, maybe even subconsciously or inadvertently, doesn't realize he's doing this. So that's what makes it so easy to heal you, right? Because I don't think you actually get a wound from
abomination.
This. Exactly. Yeah, I don't think that you get a wound from this at all. It's just like you have this weird thing now.
And I assume it could potentially during that magnify my own essential discipline.
Yeah, it could. There's certainly a power that you can try to tap into here.
Yeah.
It's just that it might not. Let's see.
Do we want Furiel to make Constantino to make a roll?
I think so. I'm just trying to decide what his actual intent is. He's certainly trying to save you. I think he does that no matter what. But like, what else does he try to do? When he realizes what's happening, how does he try to pivot? Towards like his weird magical experiment stuff.
Does he
I'm trying
want
to think
like
of what's going on?
Does he try to like get a shard of the orb for himself?
He literally, I just looked at his beliefs. He literally has a belief about the orb. So he had a belief about the artifact that you guys thought was under the Temple of the Great God originally.
Yeah.
But he cares about this order stuff. He actually knows a little bit about it. So his belief is this artifact could be of great use to me. I will seek it for my own ends. I think, he must be able to. It's either he uses it. Like we could go back to a whole like he has part of the orb and can control you because the orb is inside you. Do we like that, or do we think something else might make more sense? It might be fun to have Alfons tethered to someone.
Yeah.
Like Alfons Unchained is a terrible force to be reckoned with, so maybe we put some chains on him, right? What would make sense for you, Jared? Like, would this have to be something like where he can control you and you don't realize that's what's happening? Or is it similar to the curse from before where he has something over you and you have to figure out a way to like get it off?
I don't know, because I feel like if I knew it was there, Narani could just,
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I don't think she can mess with the artifacts like in the way that you want her to. But I think it's probably more interesting if Constantino has this hold over you that you don't know about yet.
Okay.
Like, yeah, look. What if we do?
That's cooler.
What if we do super soldier, like Bucky super soldier stuff, right? There's a phrase that he can use to like transform you into his own creation, right? But you don't know about it, right?
Is it as long as the code word is fromage?
Well, it might not even be a code word or whatever. He has probably like a shard of the orb in like a glass something or other, right? Maybe an amber or something that he carries around with him. And as long as he has that and like does something with it, he can like your eyes roll back in your head and suddenly become like dark Alfons and like do what he says.
Do I wake up in his lab or do I wake up outside it? Like just randomly.
Yeah, he probably would want you to not know, but I'm just trying to think if he would think it would be too suspicious for you to wake up in his lab, right?
Yeah. Because if I wake up in his lab, I'll know there was some. I mean, I probably won't know what it is, but I'll know that there was some. He did something.
Yeah.
But if I just wake up randomly, I'll know something happened, but I'll have absolutely no idea what.
All right. Let's play this out. So I'm gonna roll the physical discipline test for him. This is how well it goes, right? Well, okay. Before I make this roll, we should just to figure out what happens if he fails, because this still has to be a failure for Alfons, right? It still has to be like a cost for Alfons, no matter what happens here. If he fails this, is it like what? Like he can't get the orb pieces out of you that were gonna kill you, and like you're slowly dying from a like a weird magical sickness? Would that work for you?
Sure.
Oh yeah, as long as you're okay with that. I think let's roll then. Let's have him roll.
If he fails, would he still have control over me then, or no?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like he doesn't have control over you, but instead you're slowly dying from a magical sickness.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Do we want my essential discipline to help him here?
I don't think you can. Like,
I mean, I don't think it. I was subconsciously healing myself.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. Either way,
this is less him. We basically said automatically that he can just do this, like heal you, no problem. It's just this other extra stuff.
Gotcha.
Okay, so he's trying to basically give you a trait, right? Yeah, some sort of like bonded whatever trait. Let me see if I can find one that makes sense. I think I have an idea. There's like a lich type trait in the codex here, right? Where like you have a phylactery, right? Like where you're bound to an object, which is the idea here. Cool.
Alfons is a lich now.
Yeah. Definitely didn't expect this to happen today, but
can the trait be called liches get stitches?
That's pretty funny.
What the heck?
Yeah, Connor, this is what happens when Alfons is unchained.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Amulet bound. Okay, this is what the trait says. This creature's spirit resides trapped in an amulet. If its body is destroyed, its spirit returns safely to the amulet.
Cool.
Let's see. If the amulet is destroyed while the spirit is inhabiting it, the spirit is also destroyed. So we could have it literally be something like that, but I think at the very least, it costs the same as that sort of thing. So that was an 8-point trait. Do we think it would cost more or less than that as a trait to give this basically like control over someone? You know what? Let's do what is possessed, I guess is the question. Well, because it's kind of a mix between those two.
Do the points matter if you just organically get a trait?
The points matter for his ob.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Because he's trying to give you a trait with this.
Gotcha. I mean, I think the lich thing makes much more sense because it's literally the exact description of the trait. My soul, or at least part of my soul,
bound. Yeah,
resides in not an amulet, but like a vial somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. So the possessed trait
costs 5 points. I think it's somewhere in between those. I'm gonna make it. Let me roll. On a 1 to 3, it's
Okay.
It's going to be ob 6 for him. Or not ob 6 per se, but like that's the base.
Yeah.
If it's a 4 to 6, then it's a 7.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a 6. So let me find what needs to change here. Okay, so trait, it's ob 1 plus the trait cost. So 8.
9?
Well, because it's 7. It's actually 7. So 8.
Oh, 7. Okay.
Yeah. 8 altogether with that one that I just said. And then the other thing here is just like whether or not how long he wants it to last and whatnot. So 8 so far, and then we have it's against someone who's not him, so 9, and he wants it to last. Oh man, he has a lot of forks, but he's pushing it here if he bumps this up too much. Let's say adventure. So not campaign. It's not going to last for forever, but
So what is an
so that means
adventure the
9
season?
Yeah, it's like the season. Yeah, so
Okay.
12, ob 12. So an arc.
Are you sure you don't want to give him my essential discipline? Good help. That'd be 2 free dice.
I mean, you're not helping him do this.
Why not?
Again, you're helping him maybe like heal you, but that's not what he's rolling for right now.
Does he get a bonus from using the orb?
No, the orb is what's making this possible. Okay, so he gets 2 dice from alchemy, 2 dice from anatomy. He's starting with a 10 in this. A
That's
dice
actually
from astrology.
Do we have to roll to get that?
No, it's just that one of the die will be considered open-ended both ways automatically.
Oh,
So if he gets a 1, he might take away successes on it.
Gotcha.
Let's see. I don't think demonology counts here, but I think Emperalia will for the orb stuff. We'll do folklore, which is like a magical.
This is Siegfried taken to the extreme. Holy cow!
Yes, I built this guy entirely off of this and like just amped him up like beyond normal character burning stuff. He's been doing this for a long time. And then we'll give him obscure history for the orb, right?
Yeah.
And then
And I'm sure making liches is
2 dice for taxidermy.
That's funny.
Yeah, and that'll be it. So he's rolling 20 dice. Except I'll give him. He's been succeeding on things. He's gonna bank 3 Artha into this, 3 Persona.
Yeah.
And then the ob is 12, right? Is that what we said? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So many 6s.
So let's not ever mess with this guy.
So many 6s.
Holy cow.
Yep. That's a 17. So yeah.
Holy crap.
Alfons, you wake up.
As a lich.
You wake up, and he is, doing the last stitch. He probably has already finished the stitches on you, but he's like, giving you maybe some water. He's trying to get you to drink some water. He's like, Alfons, you need to hydrate. And again, this is Constantino is played by Michael Emerson from Lost. Right.
Can there be like a pseudo like Tony Stark-esque like just glowing wound in my chest?
Yes, I think so. At least for right now, it'll probably go away in time, but it's currently glowing.
Yeah. Dope. Can I add cool scar to my traits?
Probably. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's trying to get you to drink some water, and he's like, Alfons, you need to hydrate.
Oh, dude. What? Constantino, what happened?
You got hit with an arrow. Very hard. Right in the chest.
I look down, I'm like, why is it glowing?
Yeah, and he's going to roll an ugly truth here. His intent being to tell you the truth in such a way that you won't find it suspicious that with the stuff he leaves out. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
He's
Is that
just going to
against
be
my
like,
will?
yeah,
Or-
you got the orb. The orb went inside of you. You got shards everywhere. I barely kept you alive.
Mhm.
And it's the complexity of the truth. So
Okay.
it's going to be an ob 5 for him, I think.
Is it an
It's like the
ob
most-
6 because I don't particularly trust him?
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Cool. Ob 6. Ugly truth. Let's see. Can he add anything in here? He'll do astrology. He'll do.
You do have to roll
Rhetoric.
the astrology dice separate, though, right?
I always look at the last die
Oh, last time.
that's rolled, and I just say that's the astrology one. So for that last roll he made, he got a 2, so
Ooh, he
it's a
got so
failure, but
many
it's not
sixes.
open ended. He's forking in rhetoric, and then I think that's all he can do. But he has a good
Okay.
ugly truth. So
Cool beans.
hey, right on the money.
Nice.
Yep. So he basically just said he lays out the whole spiel, right? He says, Alfons, I don't know how exactly you found yourself in this predicament, but the shards of a magical artifact are in your chest, and I couldn't take out all of them. You can, ask him questions or inquire about that. But
Oh, okay. Well, if I could just have those shards back, that would be swell. I don't know if you want to retcon that. I don't know if you'd say that.
yeah, that I realized that would lead into that question.
I think we should retcon that.
Agreed, because he succeeded on the ugly truth. So
Yeah,
he says
that would instantly make me suspicious
yep,
and want
yep.
them back.
Yeah. He says, you have a magical artifact in your chest, Alfons, the shards of which are dangerously close to your heart. I managed to stay it from doing any more damage, but I don't know. Try not to get into any more archery competitions when you have a magical artifact in your satchel.
Yeah, archery is not exactly my forte.
What happened, Alphonse, if I may ask? I found you in the gutter. Piece of an arrow in your chest.
Well, as much as Sergio believes that I'm, his enemy, we're trying to do what's best for both him and Lucerta. We're, fighting demons again.
Ah, how interesting.
So I know it's probably your prerogative to, arrest me and bring me to Sergio and maybe execute me.
I suppose I could do that, Alphonse, but I'd like to think that you and I are closer than that.
Yeah, we're best friends. You healed me, right?
I certainly, I would like to say so. Tell me, Alphonse, would you mind doing me a favor, since I did save your life and all?
Is it killing demons? You want a demon body to dissect? We just killed one of them.
He smiles softly and he says, oh, don't worry. I've had plenty of time with Armando Cole. I don't need him. He's referring to the bishop that the demon was in. I don't think you had a body for the actual demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of dissipated into the ether.
Okay. So that just having a demon in your body doesn't alter it necessarily.
Even if it does, he just implied that he already has experimented on Armando. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. You want Theo because he's the traitor.
No, actually, what I want, Alphonse, is for you to do whatever I say. And then he holds up the shard, and we just see like Alphonse's eyes roll back in his head.
I don't know what the point of the ugly truth.
No, you're gonna forget everything that happened in this moment. This is just for the audience to see, right? Like, it works, right? He just like nods to himself. He's like, perfect, and it works, right? And then you go back to normal, and you forget that he asked that.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
Well, how about we keep it on hold for now, and I'll get back to you.
Quid pro quo, which I think is what that means.
Yeah, I believe so. Like, put it on my tab, basically. Yeah. Well, no, quid pro quo is like you do it for free, basically, or for reputation's sake or something.
Oh, okay.
Because if your lawyer is doing something quid pro quo, if a lawyer is doing something quid pro quo, it means that they're doing something for free because exposure or whatever, right?
Gotcha.
But yeah, I assume you go from there to talk to Cantarius then?
Yeah, I'm just like Olympic. Like I go straight there because I can't get to Dallin because he's.
Yeah, he's in bureaucratic nightmare stuff. Yeah,
I guess before I leave.
Yeah,
like you want to. I mean, I know you already did something amazing for me. Healing me and bringing me back from the brink of death.
That's what I do. I am a doctor.
But if you could, put in a word with. Oh wait, we weren't supposed to tell Sergio, were we, about the demons?
No.
Right? Well, I already told him that we're hunting demons.
Yeah.
Jared.
He's delirious from blood loss.
I think Sergio knew some of it already, but yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I think Constantino's smart enough to figure out.
Constantino's smart enough to figure it out. I mean, also, Sergio sent an Inquisitor to stop you guys from exercising his bishop. So, yeah, I think he knows.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll just keep on with this train of thought then. If you could put in a good word with Sergio that I'm trying to stop the war and the demons.
Yeah.
And we already succeeded with one.
Yeah.
His money wasn't put to waste. And I still plan on paying him back.
He just raises an eyebrow and he says, I'm not sure what you think I can do, but I'll mention it.
You're one of his most trusted advisors.
Yes, of course. I may have something to mention to Sergio when we meet next. I'll put in a word, as it were.
Does this require a persuasion roll?
No, because actually I think what he's going to tell Sergio is, hey, Sergio, buddy, your nephew who you hate, I have control over him now. What do you want to do with that? Because he realizes he's like, oh yeah, Sergio is still a really powerful man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loyal to him. What if I just tell Sergio and just Sergio can have control over this?
Okay. So could I roll a persuasion to at least have him mention the things that I mentioned?
Yeah. You can make a persuasion test to basically, instead of doing that, he actually puts in a good word for you.
Yeah.
What would be his reason for doing that? That's in his best interest, right?
Well, does with this character, it's hard because I don't know his motivations at all.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. You have to be able to know what it is before you can make it the persuasion test.
If he does care about Sergio and Lucerta, if I'm able to convince him I'm actually trying to do what's best for.
He does not care about that.
He doesn't care about Sergio or Lucerta. Okay, then.
Nope.
Yikes.
He's loyal to Sergio because it's convenient for him, and Sergio could have definitely and probably should have had him executed, and he didn't. But he's loyal to Sergio because of power and not because of loyalty or greater good or anything.
Should I roll an empathy check because you just gave me all of this?
I think it's obvious. He's told you before. You've had a conversation with him before, and I think it was clear that he's not. I mean, this guy. He's not a good person.
Yeah.
You don't know his actual motivations per se. It's what would motivate him to do this for you, but it's certainly not he's loyal to Sergio, and he wouldn't randomly. He doesn't care about the war or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. So if he had a better offer,
literally, if you had something, he's selfish. You have to give him something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's curious, right? He likes magic and magic mysteries and stuff. So you've offered him something along those lines. You could get him to do this for you.
Constantino. I love my uncle. I know you don't care about that, but he's always been good to me, and power, as I'm sure you can see, has corrupted him and is slowly driving him mad. And when leaders succumb to madness, they don't stay in power for very long.
He just has like a blank expression on his face.
If you've been paying attention to, the politics, both me, the king, and Dellen, and now the new Duke of Lucerta. Right, he's a Duke now. Nico,
yeah, is like some whatever the like noble in charge of this city means.
Yeah. We're all on the same page. And Sergio's not. I want him out of power for our sakes and for his own sake, because he's not going to last much longer before someone takes less than what's the word I'm looking for? Less than non-lethal action against him.
Mm-hmm. Make a persuasion test. I have 2 very cool paths for Constantino, whether or not you succeed or fail on this.
Okay.
I think him thinking through his possibilities here, you could make that persuasion test now, and yeah, we'll see.
Ultimately, my goal here is him to see that Sergio is basically on his own. The Holy Knights are with Dellen.
Everyone else is against him. Yep.
Oh, yeah, I should mention that. The Holy Knights follow Dellen. They don't follow Sergio. So yeah, we have the king, his men, me, Dellen, the Holy Knights, the new Duke of Lucerta. So the citizenry and at least half of the nobility.
Yeah, I mean, you have Oberdan, you have the Trews on your side too. So yeah.
Oh yeah,
lots of people.
Them. The Trews. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so persuasion.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Bullcrap wise? Falsehood.
I don't think so. I don't know if you bullcrapped anything there.
Okay.
That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if you lied either.
You don't know if he lied. There might have been a couple lies.
I don't know what you could have lied about.
The thing is, he's saying a lot of things that might be true, but he doesn't necessarily know are true.
I think you must believe enough that they're true to I don't know. I don't see falsehood or bullcrap here. It sounded very earnest and non-ridiculous from Alfons.
Okay.
Like you're correct. Like you're starting to gather allies. Everyone's starting to circle around Sergio.
Okay. What's his ob? What's his will?
So it's going to be a ob 6 altogether for the test. He has a will of 4, but I think this is a little bit harder to convince him of.
Yeah. Okay. So persuasion, etiquette.
Sure.
Haggling. I'm sure there's a position
you can
for
forfeit,
you in. Okay.
Yeah.
Court gossip wise, because.
Sure.
Like,
yeah. The court gossip with all the Sergio is being surrounded by his enemies. Yeah.
City wise, because I know Lucerta.
I don't think he cares about that though.
Like, he doesn't care about like the people, but he cares about what the people are going to do and how that can impact.
I suppose. I don't know. Court gossip wise and city wise in this instance seem like they're both the same thing, right? So one of those is matters.
Okay. Noble wise instead.
Noble wise is fine. Yeah.
Okay. And then I don't think I'll do intimidation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably smart. Yes, ob 6.
2, 3. Is it too late to do essential?
Yes.
All right. I'll spend 2 persona. I'm running low on persona. All right, so 4, 5, 6. Did not need to spend that persona.
That was so many sixes, dude.
Sixes. You know what? I want to re-roll all of those 6s. If I re-roll them, will this persuasion work even more?
I mean, you already got doubled the obstacle. I don't think there's any chance it could be any better, but it would still be just, you don't even have to spend the fate. Just see what you would have gotten, right? Like all of those 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, oops. Just forget
Yeah, it's
that.
just 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 if you spent 2 fate, right?
So I have 8 6s.
8 6s, and yeah, you could if you spent 2 fate on this imaginary, even if you're
So 7
not doing
more.
Wow.
And then 1. Okay.
No, that. Wait, you don't do it with
okay.
persuasion.
Well, I didn't know how to, like, when you click fate, I didn't know how to make that gray shaded.
Oh, yeah.
So I just hit persuasion because I have 8 base in persuasion.
Yeah. For future reference, Jared, there's actually just a B next to that. You can change it to G or W.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I'll roll one more time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So 6, 7, or 7.
22 successes.
22 successes.
He
could not be more convinced.
No. He's certainly on board with this, right? Like, we obviously see that, like, he's doing it for his own reasons, right? He has plans within plans, but he has decided in this moment that his loyalty to Sergio has run its course. But he's not loyal to you.
Oh, I don't want him to be loyal to me. I want him to be loyal to Dylan.
He's not even loyal to Dylan. Like, you can persuade him to join you, but he has his own reasons for doing so, right? And those reasons are pragmatic, and the reasons you brought up are good, right? Like, this is Sergio's on his way out, and like, you need to
or even the king, I think, would be fine.
I don't think it's either of those. Like, I don't think you. Okay. I don't think you could have convinced him to actually be loyal to either of them, but he's
not loyal, but
to the cause
loyal
for
as
now.
He is to
exactly
to Sergio.
Yeah. Yes. But he has his own plan here, including you now under his control, for him to get an even better deal by the end of all this, right? So yeah, cool. I like
that.
It
works for me not being imprisoned. Okay, now I go to Connor. Or Cantarius. Unless Cantarius has a scene he wants to do before I get there.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we left anything unless you wanted me to. Unless my uncle was going to show up.
Yeah, the uncle is the only thing, but we could up to you, Cantarius, if you want to do that first or after the scene with. Alfons.
Oh, I don't care. What do we do first?
Let's do the scene with the uncle then. Since Jared just swallowed up most of our time here, so make sure it's Cantarius has some stuff going on. Yeah, so your goal here was just to kind of get in touch with him and find out what he's about, basically.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think we see you. So it's actually just a hop, skip, and a jump away from where you're already at the Coliseum there. Because this is that island is like the embassy district. Or part of the island is the embassy district. So he's there, like, at the embassy. And it's the Techo embassy, so it's like it has like Techo architecture, and there's like Techo servants who come and take your staff or whatever you let them take from you as you walk in, whatever outer clothes you might have, and lead you to his like tea room, and low Japanese style table. He's sitting there in like a kimono or whatever the male version of that is, right? And drinking, has some tea in front of him, and there's been tea poured for you. What do we see from Cantarius as he walks through the embassy? This is where you grew up, right? Your parents died here.
Yeah.
That's rough.
I don't.
Your wife died here. Like, they've scrubbed the bloodstains out, but it's
I don't know. He probably does a little bit of sighing as he's going through. It doesn't look like he's having a good time, but I think he's trying to put it out of his mind.
Yeah, makes sense.
Doesn't dwell on the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as a reminder, Kaito Tasuki is played by Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa. That's what he looks like. So older Japanese gentleman.
And that's my uncle, right?
Yeah, it's your uncle. Yeah.
I don't know my uncle's name.
Yes, Kaito.
Yeah.
And he as a quick reminder for all of us, right? He used to be a courtier in Techo. Made a bunch of embarrassing mistakes. Probably got some noble woman pregnant or something along those lines, right? Like big shame-inducing bad thing he did. And then spent a bunch of life atoning for it as a monk out in the middle of nowhere. And he's recently come back into public life as this ambassador once your dad died, right? And I think anyone who knows him well enough knows that like he's trying to atone for all of those. Like he's nervous. He was nervous about coming back into public life and is trying to now synthesize the courtier he once was with the monk he has now become to try to do it better this time, like being a noble. Yeah, he seems sort of restless as you sit down. And he seems eager to talk, right? And he gestures to your tea first. You go through the niceties, I think, of the tea ceremony, as you would expect from Cantarius is probably familiar with this, though you're probably rusty at it. Whatever this official Techo tea ceremony is, when you reunite with a long lost family member, there's probably particular etiquette for all of that stuff, right? If you'd like to make a roll, you could, but it doesn't matter too much for etiquette.
Got to farm tests.
Yeah, but then also, what are the consequences of failing this etiquette roll?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he cares too much.
And I don't care if Cantarius knows etiquette or not, really.
Yep, makes sense to me. Yeah, so we just see Cantarius stumble through it, and eventually Kaito like dismisses the servants that are waiting in the wings, and the sliding door closes behind you, the Japanese style sliding door, and Kaito says, "I would like to apologize again, my nephew, for not seeking you out when my brother died. I should have made sure that you were cared at. You were looking after. There's a phrase I'm trying to
taken care of, looked after.
Yeah, looked after. That's what I was trying to find the right tense for that, for the word look. I should have made sure that you were looked after. Please forgive my error." And he's already apologized for this, but
yeah, I think he's like, this is just how my uncle is. He waves at him. He says, "You've already been forgiven."
I thank you for your generosity and charity.
What?
And he just asks, "I must admit, Cantarius, I am confused. What are you doing working in the noble court of Ceran? I mistook you for a servant when I saw you in the bishop's home," and referring to Nico Ard.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I knew you were working as a tinkerer. Were you not?
Well, I was.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's not anymore. I don't know. I don't know if he's quite ready to like discuss that with him. You know what I mean? He's kind of like, don't worry about it, Uncle. It works going fine for me. Don't worry about it.
Got a good raise recently. It's fine.
Yeah. Yep.
The raise was me killing a demon.
Yep. That's right. Very fulfilling work. Yeah, I don't know. He's just kind of like,
and like again, from his perspective, he's just like, my nephew disappeared. I literally had no idea what he was doing, and like now he's like an agent in the court. Like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know how he wants to respond to that though.
Yeah.
Uncle, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I guess he just says, I'm not a tinkerer anymore, but I don't know. I feel like he should say, I don't know how to quite explain what I do now. But he also is like, I don't want to, like, I'm trying not to talk about it. So I think he just leaves it at that. He says, I'm not a tinkerer anymore. Just sees what he says.
Yeah. he can. I think he's probably good enough at etiquette to sense that like that's you dismissing the question and not wanting to talk about it further. So he just says, "I heard that your companion Alfons convinced the king to make preparations as if the war was not, as if, what did you exactly do, Alphonse? You convinced him of what? Related to Techo, particularly. I'm trying to remember.
That preparing for the war is fine, but not taking steps to initiate it.
Yeah.
Like, basically, like, they're preparing defenses and not getting ready to attack.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So he says, I must thank you and your companion Alphonse. I've heard that that what you were there to do that day was to advise the king on matters pertaining to the war, and apparently your friend is convincing enough to, well, let's just say that Techo and Ceran are the nearest to peace that they've been in a long time. True peace. Peace that will not lead to yet another conflict. There's still much work to be done, but I thank you.
He nods. I think he's thinking like, I don't know. I feel like he's just thinking like what my uncle does is so much. It's just so much. It's just so different. He's just like, how do I?
Hey, and I'm completely honest. I'll be completely honest. If the answer to this whole scene is just Cantarius ends up walking away from his uncle and saying like, "You're doing your own thing, I'm doing my own thing. I don't know if there's any overlap between us anymore." That's totally fine.
I'm just not sure where he's at with this, because and I'm not sure how to get like, let's put it this way. I don't think Cantarius is going to be like, oh, maybe I should help my uncle out with something.
Yeah.
Simply because of what he would do to help. It's so different than his goal. But I think he just realizes how different this is and thinks like he starts to consider if he's on the right path, given how noble his uncle's goals are compared to his, in a sense.
Like seeking peace for the world, and you're like, I'm just gonna kill some demons, I guess.
but at the same time, he's like, but that has to be way more important. But it feels dirtier, and he's like, I wish I could be doing this guy's stuff, but he's like, I can't.
And in another life, you
I know
might
too
have,
much,
right? Like Cantarius might have, like you, if your father had married like another Techo woman, and you had been a Techo. Like that might be you, but like probably because you were half blood, that wasn't an option, probably, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, there is other stuff going on with your uncle that like you could be brought into, but like he's not gonna like necessarily come around and say it unless there would have to be something that would come up to connect you guys in that sense. So again, if this conversation just is like Cantarius being awkward and not knowing what to say, and it just kind of ends with like that's fine.
That's how I feel it's gonna go. But we can carry it out further. I'm not sure how to navigate it with this, because I don't see it going anywhere else. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Well, what's the gist of what you say then? Because it sounds like you didn't want to tell him what you were doing now.
Yeah.
So, like, is there any part of your past that you're actually going to share with him? Because that's what he was asking about earlier.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Unless he has a convincing argument as to why,
Yeah, let me take a look at his skills and see if there's, like, a path that yeah, okay, this is what he does. So he asked you that question, right, about, or he thanked you for Alphonse's help and all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
And probably ask you like, please pass it on to him when you see him. And then there's like that pause again, right? Where you don't say anything. And then like that was him trying to change the subject, but he's just like, I don't know what else there is for us to talk about. So I guess I have to go back to the thing I was asking originally. But he tries it in a different tactic. He says, nephew, I understand that what happened with your father was very hard. And I'm sure your life cannot have been easy since that point. But I want you to know that though I am sure I have failed you as family before, I will not do so again. Please, let me know what is troubling you and how I may be of assistance. And he's gonna roll soothing platitudes just to try to like ease your mind about him. And
Yeah.
What's your will?
4.
Any increased odds based on the situation or beliefs you have or whatever?
Driven. I'd say make it 2.
+2.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I might be able to point to some other traits that would
I
help
think that's
like
fine.
reinforce that, but I think driven is worth it too.
Let's see if he has any forks. I assume etiquette isn't useful against you per se.
I don't know. I feel like not normally, but maybe for my uncle. You know?
Sure. He'll get some dice from that, and then he actually first I'll start off with he made a meditation roll before he met you to like center himself for whatever social skill he was gonna have to use. It's basically his jam. And I think he gets 2 forks. Oof, yeah, that was good. Yep, so he gets a die for that. So he'll get 3. You're not a noble. He has oratory.
But he is noble.
Yes, persuasion.
Connor's pretty noble. I think you should get the wise for that.
I don't think so.
I get technique wise for seduction.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't have given you technique wise for seduction. That's what I'm saying.
You shouldn't give him a lot of stuff, but you do.
Yeah, I know.
Mine was a joke. And Caleb was like, "Yeah, you make a good point."
I don't know. I like that's one of the reasons I like Fate so much is because of like the being able to interpret things different ways and fiddle with that. So I don't know. So it's fun. All right, cool. He has lots of forks for this. He has a bunch of social skills and stuff. So up 6. There you go. 8 successes. Yeah. So what do you do?
And his goal specifically was to
ease your mind so that you'll open up to him.
Okay. I've been hunting demons, Uncle. I've killed one. Or many, I suppose. Recently. What I'm doing is beyond any of us. But we're doing it.
He looks very troubled.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking a look at his skills real quick to see if he has any context for that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
He has like doctrine and stuff. Let's see. How about I make a 4 in doctrine roll for him to see how much he knows about demons? History. Research. Symbology. That's forks. We'll just do graduated, so the higher he gets, the more he knows. 3 is not too much, and he only got a bunch of 1s. Yeah, so he probably knows the basics of it, right? I think Techo has less demonology stuff going on in their doctrine than Ceran. So, he probably says, Cantarius, when you say demons, you mean the demons that Ceran speaks of, the watchers in the night, the ones who come from the void.
Yes. Yes, I do.
I have heard stories, Cantarius, about what happened with your parents. Are you telling me that they are true?
Yes.
I am so sorry, my boy. I think he says, you're killing them. Do you work with the stewards then, the patron saints of Ceran to do so?
No.
Yeah,
What?
no, definitely not.
I think he's even just confused at the thought. Like
Yeah,
what
but
do you mean?
this is where he would go because that's what happens in his country, right? Like,
Sure. Yeah.
there's all sorts of stories about the patron saints fighting demons and stuff in mythology. So,
yeah, I mean, no.
are you saying that you have not reached out to them, or that they will not help? Probably
He
both.
does not know how to answer that question.
Given what you know of like Narani at the very least from Alfons and Theo,
Yeah.
probably both.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Yeah, you could be like, yeah, both. He thinks back to that, and that's what he says.
Yeah. This is very troubling, nephew. I am a monk, or I am an ascetic of the monk, of Keshido, the steward of peace, tranquility. I was part of the monastery of the Reaching Vine, and I must tell you, Cantarius, things of late have been troubling me. I am what you would call a channeler, a user of the 9 disciplines. But the monk is not answering my prayers. My power is weak, weaker than it once was. Something is happening, I think, to the gods, and it may have to do with what you are dealing with. Are the demons threatening us that badly? Are the stories so true? Is this world destined to be plunged into darkness?
No, Uncle. I'm killing the darkness.
He waits for like explanation. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think looks at you like, what does that mean?
I don't think he gives one.
Yeah. So I think eventually he says, I will not pretend to understand, nephew, but I trust you. I see in your eyes that you have done what you speak. And so that is what you're doing now, yes? Hunting them. They're here in Lucerta.
Yes.
I suppose they would want nothing more than for humans to fight each other.
Yes.
I do not know how I can help you, nephew, but I did promise to try. So please, is there anything I can do to aid you in your struggle?
No, not this time.
Cantarius, there is one man that I met. The monastery of the Reaching Vine. I do not forget a face. It had been so long since I had seen yours, and you had been so young, that it slipped me for a moment. I again, forgive me for that. But when I reached Lucerta, I recognized a man who had been a monk in my monastery. Even then, he was interested in strange things, dangerous things.
What kind of things?
Your high priest, Cantarius. Sergio Tan. He was that monk. And like you've heard the story that like Sergio went to Teco for a while, right? But apparently like Kaito knew him, and he looks at you and basically says, if you're looking for demons, I think Sergio knows more than he may let on about them.
He's like, yep. I know. He says that even, I think.
Yeah, and Cantarius, you remember the time that you guys were planning that whole like kill me while the demon's inside of me thing, like back with Winter way long ago in second season. Yeah. Sergio was one of the people who was helping you do that demonology roll. So like if you had to guess at anything that Sergio would be most interested in, it's like the bindings themselves, like the magic of it. He's always been interested in like magic mechanics and stuff.
Okay.
So that's just like probably a thing that the Cantarius thinks of. Like,
okay.
So what that means for him and what Sergio's been doing, you don't know. But at least, you know, it opens up a new subquest in your quest log, right? Like figure out what Sergio's been doing, right? Yeah. But yeah, is there anything else that you would like ask of Kaito to help you with, or?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. And that's fine. I think we can probably just end the scene there, and then like we know that Kaito's a character, and if you ever need him again for anything, like you can help him. As a note, he probably fills you in on, since he revealed this already, that he's a channeler, right? He's a magic user, and he has the elemental discipline. So he's basically like Uncle Iroh, right? He like firebend and stuff, or whatnot. But yeah, sure. Well, where's Cantarius when Alfons finds him? And by the way, Alfons, as soon as you leave the laboratory, it only takes a little while for the glow to go away from your chest.
Okay, I assume there's still like.
Yeah, if someone like took your shirt off and like looked very closely, they could see something. But
well, I don't think I have a shirt, but I assumed my entire ensemble
we can skip
was
ahead.
Destroyed.
Oh yeah, that's true. Your armor. Yeah, so I mean, he would have gotten all your stuff. Like I think what happened is.
Well, I wasn't wearing the armor. Is the problem?
Oh, that's true.
That's the only reason I probably took as much damage. Otherwise, it probably would have been fine.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I would have probably had us made like an armor roll or something. Yeah.
Because missiles suck against armor.
Yeah.
I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I guess. Yeah. You. But what I was gonna say is, I think we can skip ahead if you want, like just to you getting close. Unless you would go straight to Cantarius.
I'm going straight there.
Yeah, so Alphonse is just like has like wound. Pants on, and that's about it. Yeah.
I assume like a cloak, so I'm not like.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, all my finery is like destroyed, and I'm just wearing like a cloak and tattered. Like I guess my pants are probably fine, but
yeah, your pants are probably fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, big hole in his shirt, big gaping wound. Where is Cantarius when Alphonse finds him?
Oh, I don't know. Where have we been staying? Because
you've been staying at.
Dellen's everyone's been staying at Dellen's, but me, I believe. Wait, no, actually,
am I?
No, weren't you guys staying at Nico's place?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you and Alphonse were staying there. Yeah. So I mean, Alfons
I don't
that's just going back home for him, basically, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
you just hear like maybe like Cantarius is like in his room later at night, right? Like reading or meditating or whatever, right? Like thinking about the conversation he had with his uncle, and you just hear Alfons like stumbling through the hallways, like Cantarius.
I just throw open the door. I'm like, I'm hacking because I jog limped here. Cantarius.
Yeah, so he has a gaping wound in his chest, Cantarius.
Yeah.
It's stitched up.
Alfons?
Read my
Alfons, what
brain.
are you doing?
Use your thing. Read my brain. I need you to trust me. Just do it.
Just. Oh, as in just read my mind. Is that what you're saying?
Well, not read my mind about what happened, but like, so what I'm about to say, you can trust.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. So here's the question. So obviously I want to read his mind, right? But
yeah,
can I read what he doesn't remember?
Oh.
You might be able to, but I don't know if Cantarius would think to do that, right? At the very least, this role right
Okay.
now is just so you can trust Alfons. I think that's the idea here. But
Sure,
we can get there when we get there. I just don't want us to jump to player conclusions too soon, right?
Yeah, I'm not thinking in terms of like the metagame of it, but rather by me reading his mind, am I able to see?
So what you're actually
that.
doing according to the rules is you'd be rolling your aura reading, basically like a proxy for aura reading, and you're just trying to find his intent, right? You're just like is he telling the truth right now? Is he trying to deceive me with what he's about to say?
Okay.
So
I
don't think that will reveal anything.
So I'm rolling intellectual discipline.
Of 4.
I'll buff you with my essential +2. If that's something you'd let me do.
Is there anything I can fork with?
Alfons, let's do this real quick. I'm going to give you a light wound just for the scene, right? Just as you're reeling from what happened to you, you will have some wound dice penalty. Yeah.
Is a light wound 1 dice or is that 2 dice?
It's 1, yeah.
Don't I already have? Didn't we already do this? Didn't I already? Because I have phone a friend. This is one of my spells to make a permanent connection. Can't I?
Phone, yeah, you could do that if you wanted to, but I don't know if you want that with Alfons, right?
We have to roll to make a permanent connection with me. I think
so I never did that. Okay.
No, you never.
Well,
you did that with Gorath.
You did one
remember?
you did one for the scene with me.
For scene with Gorath.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just do it for right now then. You said the op is 4?
Yes.
I'm not sure if I want the intel or your
That's fine.
Because that would be a linked test, right? Not a fork.
No, I can either fork 2 or I could do a linked test to give you 3.
I mean, you said the difficulty is 4, and I don't need routine tests, so I don't think I.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well.
And wouldn't the ob be lower anyway because I'm trying to I'm letting him in. He doesn't come against any resistance.
No, Cantarius just needs to be sure about you not lying. That's the point, right?
Okay, so a couple of things. So just real quick for rolls. Yep. If I'm rolling 6 against a 4, is that still just a routine?
Mm-hmm.
Then it kind of doesn't matter. So I'll take
get all the forks. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, and I don't think I've forked anything into this before.
Do you want me to roll to give you never mind. You already got it.
No, I'm good.
Yep. So you can tell like he's telling the truth. Whatever he's about to say, he's being genuine.
Right. All right, go for it. I think he reads and he just gives you a nod, like.
All right.
I'm in your mind. I'll know if you're lying.
Yeah.
I messed up. God of War wants to kill me. Theo betrayed us. And like he's just panicking.
One of those things.
The orb is inside me.
Didn't know that one.
And based off of the fact that I'm in his mind,
you can tell he's not lying. He's not making things up. He believes everything he's saying.
So he believes everything he's saying. Do I know exactly how he believes Theo betrayed us? Because I'm trying to figure out, would I be like?
I think Cantarius can just.
Or
He just remembers from Alphonse's viewpoint the scene we got with him up on the roof, right, where he's doing all the stuff and like watching, tries to read Theo's like intent and can't, right? So like whatever Alphonse was thinking and feeling at that point, and then you just see the arrow, and then everything goes dark.
The God of War used my orb to start the war with. Where's Serrano? With Serrano.
Shoei was the one, the
Shoei.
original war that started this chain of events here.
Yep. The orbs opened a portal to the demon realm.
You knew that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, everyone knows that at this point.
How did they figure it out?
Well, so we passed over it really quickly, but right before you guys were doing the exorcism on Armando, everyone consolidated all their information, and Acha had already done astrology, Dylan had already done faith. You guys figured out that artifacts are no.
Okay. Well, Theo was trying to give my artifact to the demon.
And Cantarius, you were in the crowd when this happened, so you viewed it from a different perspective than he did, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
Cantarius was in the crowd that whole time, Alphonse.
Yeah.
Oh. How did he not see me get shot with an arrow?
I mean, up to you, Cantarius. Did you, or did you leave before it happened?
I'm going to say I left before it happened just to keep with the continuity here.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Right?
Like, as soon as Theo did that, you're just like shake your head and you're like, oh boy, you just like leave. Right.
But yeah, just so I don't have to go into details, you basically know everything that I know, except that the goddess of marriage is like on my payroll now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I need you to trust me, Cantarius. I know I haven't, given you a reason to, but
to this day even.
Oh, I prevented the big demon from getting the orb, and it's inside of me broken.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, from there, Cantarius, it might be an easy jump to be like, okay, aura reading on the orb now, like what's going on in his chest. That could be something you try.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know you don't trust me, but you should at least trust my ability to gather accurate information. Which is the one thing I've consistently been amazing at.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
I'm trying to look what makes sense here. Probably just aura reading.
Boy, I don't know.
I guess it just depends on, the intent. What do you want to know about the magic? If that's what you're doing.
So okay. What exactly is the nature of it? Outside of character.
Of the orb.
Because that's what's inside of him, right? The orb.
Yes. Yeah, shard. Basically, all the shards of the orb, except for like the one that Constantino took out to control him with.
So that's all that's relevant.
Probably, yeah. I mean, again, it would depend on what Cantarius would actually attempt to do.
I know. Yeah.
What information you're going to get. Because I mean, you could attempt the role to know everything, right? To just like read every magic thing that's happening there, but that's like going to be really hard.
Am I able to know some of the obs of this before I commit to it? Since it's magic, to know the different.
You would have had access to the book at least, right? So like, in aura reading normally, like naming a spell as it is being cast is ob 6. So something along that line to like know the facets of this magic item makes sense, right? Like, to just like know its magical properties, but like there's so much going on with his orb, and it's a very powerful magic artifact that probably hides some of its like potential, as we've seen before, that it would be probably higher than that. I don't think higher than a 10, but somewhere within that range is what we're looking at probably. You could also, like, if you want to know what happened, like if Cantarius is like, what happened to make this get this way?
Right.
It's an ob 8
Right.
test to see a character's past with aura reading.
I guess that would be what he would attempt. But
Yeah.
I think he might want to get help first, and I think he, since he has made a permanent link with Gorath, I think he's just gonna contact
You didn't.
him.
You made it for the scene, and it went away.
I thought
Are you
the one you made with
positive? 'Cause
Gorath was
100%.
permanent. The one
I
you made
have
with
it
me
in. I
was,
have it as a named
almost-
spell.
Yeah, but
Pretty
you,
sure he
you
got
did
the
it.
Who
one
else
with
would I have-
with no, he
I
did
know,
one with
I'm-
Alfons, and he did one with
I'm
Gorath. Gorath one was
almost
permanent,
100%
and the Alfons
positive.
one wasn't.
I'm almost
So-
100% positive the Gorath one was for the conflict, the thing that was happening there in that
So
moment.
when did
Otherwise,
I?
we could have had Gorath helping the entire time all the demon stuff was happening, and we didn't. Like, I remember very specifically that being the case.
But why did I have this as a named spell then? Who did I use this
Because
on?
you did it. It's just you did it for less duration than you assumed. Right? It's still the same spell, more or less, right? You're phoning a friend. You're
Well, did you
making
write
the
him as
contact.
like a permanent thing in your equipment or whatever?
Yeah, we would have written the trait down permanently if, right? Which you didn't.
I know that we didn't write it down in my character sheet, but I'm pretty sure I made a permanent connection. Otherwise, I don't think I would have written that down.
Let me see if I can find. I'll view the chat entries for the game. Go ahead and take a look at what you want to do and stuff while I look. But yeah, with the I had forgotten an ob. It was definitely for the scene. There's because I found ob 7 Connor was the test, and it would have been higher than that for the campaign. There's no way. So
Okay, I guess I have to do it again.
yeah, if you want to find him, if you want to get in touch with him.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this time I can help you with magic.
Let's make a note on that timestamp so I can cut it out.
I can help you with spatial +2 and then essential +3.
Do essential +2. Let's just do
No,
forks.
I can do both.
No, I mean just do forks.
Just
let's not risk the link.
I mean, I almost never fail the essential one because it's at 6 and it's
Yeah, but
open-ended.
you did with me the other day.
Connor, trust me.
You did just make a roll to trust Alfons.
Are you asking me to trust Alfons or are you, Jared?
Very different questions.
I think the reason I failed the last time I helped you is I forgot that it was a named ability I have unlocked, so I didn't add the 3 +2 to it.
Okay, so let's think about this. So it'd be intellectual discipline.
Is this you trying to get Gorath? Is that what you're doing?
Mm-hmm. Can I fork in the sensory discipline since it's communication?
I failed.
Oh my gosh.
You only get a +1 from me.
Unbelievable.
You get a +1 from me.
Oh
Can I-
my
my
can I-
+5 went to a +1. Although I guess you could deny it because I didn't. I didn't ask your permission. I just did it.
That's up to you, Caleb. I hadn't decided. I was still
sounded like
arguing
you were
with
okay
him.
with it.
This is a mathematical impossibility.
It sounded like you had been resigned to it. I think
I was resigned to arguing. I had decided.
Let's just do this. Alphonse made the roll, but I'm not going to give you margin of failure or anything for no odd penalties. He just can't fork either, right? Alphonse can't help you with this right now.
with essential.
I mean, would the other ones help? I don't know if they
Spatial.
would. Yes, spatial would help. That's fine.
You get a +2 from me then.
Okay. So I have intellectual discipline. I'm forking in the sensory discipline since this is communication. And then
In that case, Jared, I think we will add +1 ob for your margin of failure there since you did that.
It's
If-
still
if-
a net
if you-
bonus.
Up to you. Connor, would you like 2 dice from Alphonse or would you like no ob penalty from Alphonse? You can't get this.
I'm fine. I'm fine with taking the odd penalty in the dice. Yeah,
And
well,
dice,
the odd
okay.
penalty would be.
So you'd be rolling. It'd be an op 8 total instead of an op 7 like last time.
Yeah, that's fine.
This makes
'cause then I'm getting 2 dice from him.
flabbergasted. Yeah, I'm so annoyed.
Okay, so
The wound didn't help.
2.
Oh,
Jared.
dang it!
Sentry discipline.
I forgot. Can I roll to resist the wound?
No. Well, yeah, you can roll a health test to like negate the penalty briefly.
But then you'd also
Okay.
have to spend fate to then.
Yeah, I mean, we already made that roll.
Spent.
It doesn't matter now. Yeah, it doesn't matter
okay.
now. But if you have to make another roll in this scene, you can do that.
Okay.
So I don't think I can fork anything else in. I mean, there's not like any communication things. It's just be sensory and
Yeah.
yours spatial.
I didn't roll a single.
Dang.
Six.
Yeah,
So
this
ob
sucks,
eight-
'cause
ob eight,
this is going to be.
Failure probably just means that you can't get in touch with him for some reason. Like there's something going on his end that won't.
It's not like I
He's
can't try this
dead.
again, but
Not for this scene anyway.
I don't know if I want to spend Arth on this.
How many do you have?
I have 6 persona, and right now I'm rolling 9 versus an 8. So
Yeah, probably.
Oh, though Cantarius, if all you want him for is one test, I can lower the ob.
yeah, let's do that.
In which case I believe it lowers by 1. Yeah, so it's op 7 again.
Okay.
Because all you're doing is like, Gorath, take a look at Alfons real quick. Tell me if anything's wrong with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess let's try it. No.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bad.
no. What is this? I'm calling shenanigans on roll 20.
Now that is a
Neither of us
perfectly
rolled a
reasonable
single
roll.
6.
Yeah, it is.
That's a perfectly reasonable roll for that amount of dice.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. But between all of the dice, we both just rolled. Neither of us rolled 1 6.
Oh, that is kind of strange.
You can spend 1 fate to reroll 1 failed dice, Connor. But
It's not worth it for me.
Yeah.
I should because I want fate and intellectual. So
I need to.
running up.
2.
Great.
1 3, and that's it.
Awesome.
All right, cool.
I'm
So
surprised. Yeah. Okay.
you can mark that difficult test though.
And then we should wrap up here.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say this scene is the last scene, right? It's just. So yeah, for whatever reason, Cantarius can't get into touch in touch with Gorath in this moment. So if you want to find out what's going wrong with Alfons, you have to do it yourself.
Here's where I think Cantarius would go next. Is he's like, wait, what did you say the ob would be for me to look at his past?
8.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if I can succeed at that. I think he thinks
Or
Gorath
ask
can't
Alfons.
help. And I think he thinks that he should convene with Dellen before he tries to go in. Well, no, maybe let's try. And if I fail, I fail, and then he can be like, "All right, we need to go." Seek
actually, as a
Dellen's.
note, Cantarius, bad things happen to you when you fail magic, right? Like you have like you have to make a steel test.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Let's check on
Which
that.
is what I just did.
I mean, technically, yeah, bad things happen to Alphonse either, but that's why you got the +1 ob. Let's.
I assume I don't get any advantages here. Hesitation up is
don't-
6. So
I roll.
Let me double check
the help
what
to steal.
the rules on that are.
what?
Okay, so margin of failure from the spell adds to your hesitation obstacle. That's the only other thing that matters. So add 3
Oh, really?
to that hesitation, and that's your final ob.
Oh shoot, that is really rough.
You want me to help you again?
No. Yeah.
Those 6s open-ended automatically, but you can reroll 1 failed dice if you'd like.
9. Holy cow.
No, I don't think it's worth it in this circumstance. This sucks though, because
Got a challenging test.
my steel is I don't need any more challenging tests. That's what I was just about to complain about. So because of the margin of error thing. Otherwise, a 6 versus a 6 is always difficult. So
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I think this. So what this usually means, Connor, is like you hesitate, right? But if it's like a narrative moment, that means you like miss something important. So I think this probably is just us ending the scene there, and Cantarius not thinking to check Alfons over as thoroughly as he thought, right?
Well,
if that makes sense to you.
Can we just say
Inquisitor thing? Is what you're saying?
Well, I mean, Cantarius would have to make it like. So what I'm thinking here is Cantarius just doesn't check.
Yeah. Well, I it's not that I can't check in the future, but my thought was it's not that he doesn't think to check, as in like
he just decides I can't check now. I should wait for Gorath, right? Like you said. Yeah, that makes sense.
Not only should I wait for Gorath, but he's too afraid to go back into the space, into the smoke without some assistance. So he's just like,
that makes sense to me, right? Because what will probably end up happening is Cantarius will wait longer than he should have to check this over with Alfons, and something will happen in between then. Yep. I love it.
Okay,
sounds good.
Before we end, can I just lay out the rest of the last sentence I need to tell him?
Sure.
One more thing, Cantarius. I had a plan that would have fixed everything, but I don't know if I can do it anymore. I was going to use the orb to destroy the god of war, make myself the new god of war, beat Dylan in a sword fight, and then end all war forever. But yeah, the orb's kind of exploded, so I don't know what that means.
I feel like Cantarius does a mental equivalent of like, there, like, why don't you get some sleep? And
if you're still linked to me, I think you get like the whole context of that gods are only gods because they have like the aspects or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole thing, the narrative context that I got.
Yeah.
And that the orb, our artifacts could theoretically do that.
Right.
Yeah. One of the main things that Alfons learned is that all of the artifacts, their main power is just amplifying existing magic. So anyone who figures out how to use that basically can make their own powers stronger. It doesn't have any inherent thing on its own to do that, but
yeah.
And then Alfons passes out. Well, now we can end the scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Sounds good. I'll have to open up next episode with Theo seeing Alfons get shot in the chest. Well, there you go. That's Crow Inquisitors. Let's go ahead and hand out to Martha and get wrapping up here.
Can I theoretically roll a health test too, so it doesn't get worse before next session?
Oh yes, go ahead. You can just roll a health test to try to recover from it, right? Like, it's a light wound, so it's not that big of a deal. I just wanted you to have, because you described yourself going immediately to Cantarius. I was like, well, you still have stuff that's hurting probably. So that is going to be just an up to health test.
Right. Can I fork in essential to that?
You cannot.
Oh.
You could make a linked test to give yourself bonus dice, but that would have a wound penalty. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna add continuous to that. Spatial doesn't help, I don't think.
No.
Whoa!
That's
are these odds?
All right, yeah. Alfons, go ahead and like
Make
usually happens with your magic.
Test?
It's gonna be ob 5.
All right.
Failure on this just means it lasts for a little while longer.
Okay.
It's not gonna be super bad.
What?
Wow. That was pretty good.
How did that happen?
Oh, you put 5 into your advantages.
Oh, I'm like, that's mathematically impossible. I only have
go ahead and try that again.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You just put 5, 5, 5 all the way down.
So I think I put treatment advantages. Okay.
Yeah. Ooh,
Okay.
close though.
Well, I'm gonna
Um,
reroll that 6.
Do you want to reroll a failed dice as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so spend 2 fate, and then there you go. All you need is that 1 success, and you get a difficult health test. So, congrats.
Hey, I needed that.
Actually, you didn't. You just need routines at this point.
What? Dude, my health is 5.
Oh, I'm looking at Cantarius right now.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing.
Your wound penalty fades. I was just looking at Cantarius' character sheet when I thought I was saying something.
Oh,
Character sheet.
okay.
Beliefs and instincts.
Yep. All right, Cantarius, let's hand out that for you.
Tarkoth is next. Make a concrete step toward defeating him.
I don't know if you
I
did
don't-
do that, actually.
I don't think I really did do that.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's fine. I mean, I meant for these sessions to be like a little bit more slowly building back up stuff. So
right. Alfons is at the very least pretending to try to change. I will determine what he's really up to. I did succeed at reading his mind again.
I think that's
and yeah,
persona.
he spilled. Alphonse
Mhm.
spilled his whole plan to you. So yeah,
And then I'll reconnect with my past. I'll perform my taskmaster duties well.
you did it, Persona.
And then instincts, always be on the lookout for the bonds that tie demons to the physical world. Always offer forgiveness to those who repent. Always be on the hunt for demons.
I'm gonna give you fate for always offer forgiveness to those who repent. Not that it got you into trouble, but it was fun to see that be very prevalent with your conversation with your uncle.
Okay,
right?
sure, yeah.
That is how Cantarius, in a different state of mind in the past, may have not forgiven his uncle, right? If he's like, yeah, why didn't you come and seek me out? Like, what the heck is wrong with you, right?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. I don't know if any of your traits. I'll give you a trait for foreign blood. And we saw that come up with a couple things today.
Oh yeah,
including
I got
guy who
punched for that.
Tried to punch you, yeah. But other than that, I think that's probably it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Was there any humor or right skill, right time, or embodiment, anything like that for Cantarius that we can think of today?
I don't think so. I mean, I mean,
You're right.
my role playing is on point as always, but you know,
I don't know if it was like exceptionally like over the top good compared to how it usually is, but
I gotta lower the bar a bit.
yeah, it was standard.
We
We all know what the standard is for our group, and you didn't exceed it. So
Oof.
sorry.
Oof.
You met it. You just didn't exceed it. I think that's it though for Cantarius. Alphons.
That's me. There's no way Sergio doesn't know what I'm up to. I will survive whatever he throws at me next. I think I did. That was what's his face?
Yeah, you didn't. I'll give you a fate on it. You're working towards it, but like you didn't actually survive whatever he throws at me next. He didn't throw anything at you next, right? It was,
Okay.
but you're working towards it. Like you convince Constantino. Like there's stuff happening there. It's just not
Okay.
completed yet.
I need
you
the orb
got
to
the orb.
continue my collabs. I'll get the orb.
You got it. Persona. It's as close
need
to your
the-
heart as it ever was.
Yep. I need help, and I can't ask Dellen, and Theo is no longer trustworthy. I have to convince Cantarius to help me.
Oh yeah, you didn't
Are you
actually
going to
roll to
help me?
convince him though.
Connor,
I
can make
mean,
a roll to
yeah,
convince you?
but
Well, I
Should
didn't,
Alphonse roll?
I didn't
Or I don't
roll,
know.
but I did expunge like all of my secrets.
I mean, he did risk stuff, right?
Oh, and
Yeah,
no, I
okay.
did. I rolled. I think I rolled to help Connor's thing.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he helped me
Help
to
Connor
understand.
read my mind.
Yeah,
Yes.
it wasn't
yeah.
his role, but I think that.
I think it's enough. Yeah, I think it's enough.
Yeah, I think it's
Based on everything that happened, you did risk stuff. You had costs and whatnot.
I
Yeah,
agree.
it's fine.
I need persona now. I'm running low.
I'll give you a fate. I'll give you a fate for always find a reason to use my powers. Right, like you doing magic stuff in front of Faustus got you into major trouble.
Always try to surpass Dellen. I'm trying to become the god of war.
I don't know if it got you.
I got me shot in the chest.
I guess. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Getting
Well,
shot in the
wasn't
chest
forgot
has to
about
count
Yuma.
for something, right?
It
about
might.
Yuma.
It might just work.
Yeah. Certainly.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll give you I feel like you earned some other Arthur reward here. Was there any humor from Alfons? We usually have some, but I'm trying to think of a particular moment. I don't know if there was.
I can't think. I already thought about that. I can't think of
Yeah.
anything in particular,
This
but
was a more serious session.
it was a lot of stuff happened. I mean, I laughed at stuff that happened.
I
but I
laughed
don't know
at
if I could.
the statistical improbability of me
Yeah.
failing
Mhm.
2 essential disciplines in a row.
Yeah, I think we might just leave it there for the Arthur rewards. I think that's it. Cool. Yeah. There you go. That's episode 53 of Crow Inquisitors. Thanks for playing, guys. That was a blast. I'm glad we came up with a cool solution. Cool solution to the orb thing, because I was really I was like, I don't know what, like, because it all seems like escalations, but this seems like definitely the most interesting.
The one thing that actually
Yeah.
makes sense narratively that could have happened that wasn't
going to make everything go crazy. Yeah.
end game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. I love it. I have so many more ideas now with like Constantino and that stuff. Now because of it, so it'll be great.
Yeah, it's always I always like these because none of us know what the other people are doing.
Yeah.
And we end up with this nonsense.
Yeah, because Alpha just showed up and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take the orb from Theo. Oh, there's Faustus. Yeah."
It's much easier to unbiasedly think just what will my character slowly do with the information he has.
Yeah.
Without any of us having the information.
Especially because all the characters are like doing things that are like slightly opposed to each other or have like different goals in mind and all that jazz. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll be back.
I think Adam's gonna be mad.
Yes, for sure. 100%.
Especially the way he worded that message. I ain't letting Alfons touch it.
Yep. But there's really nothing Theo could have done in that case. I'll ask Theo, like Adam, about it. We can, if he's very unsatisfied with the way that happened, I'll give him maybe a faith roll to like try to change something about what happened. Not anything, but like something secret maybe like that is added or something along those lines. But we can talk about it. It seemed pretty obvious that like that was what was going to happen. Theo couldn't have done a whole lot in that moment. So next time
the demon couldn't stop it from happening.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, he probably could have done something else, but like he's still trying to pretend like he's not like some horrible monstrosity, right? Secretly. But
does
next time we'll
think that it's destroyed or no?
Or
do we not know?
Don't know. I might make a roll for him. He has
because I think that would drastically, I think, change his plans if he's like, oh, well, I can no longer open the demon portal.
At least the way that I plan to. Yeah. I'll think about that. Next time we have, we'll do Theo and Dylan and see what they've been up to. And then
cool beans.
It'll be great. All right, thanks for playing, guys. We are out.
Bye.
Adios.